rate it. Don't give a bunch of explanation, or I mean, give explanation, but don't
Think too
don't deal
much
with
about
this
it.
problem of these conditionals. We're just making it more complicated. How good do you think this building is?
I think
Yeah,
this.
I
I
think
think
that's
the
the point.
UB version would be much easier to do in that
We can do the
regard.
UB. We can do the
Yeah,
UB.
Yeah, the UB version is like because it has a very easy like
Yeah, it's just like
definition. It's
comparatively.
just how much because now how much worse would your game be if you didn't have this UB is a very clear and concise way to
Let's do the
Yeah, I
same
like that.
thing.
define it.
Like, how much better is this building than its replacement? Yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay, then let's start with that. Uh, good. Like, I guess the important thing is when we do these ratings, I like that 5 should be the average, right?
Is five the average or 5.5?
Five.
Oh my God, did you
5.
like?
For the
Sorry.
purpose of simplicity.
Brother, fuck off.
That's such a mathematician's
That is such a like you.
That's such a statistician's approach.
It's just like okay. Anyway, yeah. So 5 or 5.5, whichever one you want, should be the average. That should be about the average. So that I don't want like everyone to be like for instance, like this is a perfect one to start with. The Acadian Library is probably like the most average building ever. Because it's marginally better than the normal library. It's pretty important for what a COD wants to do, but it's not that much better. You don't instantly build it.
I don't think the
Maybe it's
Akkad
even less than
library.
average. It's
I don't
probably
think
worse.
it breaks average because it doesn't really do anything interesting.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah.
fair. That's fair. Yeah.
This is
I'm
definitely
gonna
well
ask the question of who actually knows what this does because I
It
don't.
gets an extra science
It
and
gives
it's
like
40 hammers.
1 extra science.
It's 40
Yeah.
hammers, I think.
Okay,
I'm not even
cool.
sure. It's 40 hammers.
Kuba's like, point made. Got it. Okay. 1.
I think 1 is reserved for buildings that are objectively worse than like their counterparts.
Yeah, but this is like a 2 or
So-
a 3.
It's like a 3.
Can you scroll through? I'm not sure there are any that are objectively worse. Is the problem?
Probably not actually.
Slave market is you could argue, but it's not.
No,
Like,
slave
Oh,
that's
you
the only
know,
one that has some detriment.
yam thing. The yam route. This doesn't give gold.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
actually fair.
but again, it's not worse. Like has some negative to it, but
Also, it can't be built by puppeted city states. Which actually is worse.
I think that's true of any unique building.
I mean,
I don't think so.
Maybe you're right. I'm not sure.
Anyway, we're doing a COD
I have played quite a bit of this Civ.
for reasons that no one else understands.
Shut
Akkadian
up.
life.
Yeah, I don't
Civ's
think one
good.
should be reserved for buildings that are worse because I don't think there are any.
That's fair.
One is just completely useless. Yeah.
All right, so what do you want to put this? Like, is it an insta build? Definitely not. I'm gonna give it a 3.
I'm also giving it a 3.
I'm gonna give it a defensive 3, although I could see it being a 2.
We may have to come back and make it a 2, but for now,
That's
it can be
fine.
three.
That's fine.
I'm going 2 because I just don't think many buildings are going to be worse than this.
Yeah.
That's a fair take.
That's a good take. Good take. Good take. All right, Royal Library. Okay, now we're
Alrighty.
talking about some spicy stuff. I also think it's important that we do touch on the building in conjunction with what the Civ wants to do and what the Civ can do, right? So, like,
Yeah,
this
well,
is
like-
Royal Library, and it's on Assyria, not
Yeah.
on anyone.
Yeah, again, it's how much worse would this Civ be without it?
Yeah.
This building is Assyria. Like this building
Yeah.
is like most of the Civ identity.
What does this do again? It's one
It's
culture.
One culture. If the first time you build it in your cap, it gets a free slot, and if the writer's slot is filled, it's barracks.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And the fact that you get it for free of tradition is why it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Though.
Yep.
because it's basically the first one you build is free culture, so and then the second one you build is also kind of free culture because you get a free raider at Philo.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, do you get one free rider or two free riders on the Civ?
2. You get one in
You
the
get one.
first.
Yeah.
You get one in the
You get one
first.
great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Technically, you get one great work and one raider, but
All right.
Semantics. I'm gonna give this an 8. Is that high? That might be high. Maybe a 7.5.
I'm wondering if that's too low.
I don't know, because I'm
like-
thinking ahead. Like, how does this stack up against a fucking Mexican windmill?
Yeah,
Like, I don't
I
know.
think
That's
they
pretty
were
hard.
I think 8 is. I think 8 is where I'm gonna put it.
I mean, if the Civ is decent at all, like
It's because of
then
this
this is the entire Civ. So, or everything except the siege movement, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a lot. All right, what do you guys rate it then?
I think it's a 9. I'm considering a 10.
I was considering. a
And
9.
part
I
of
think
your definition, Hawks, is then how good is Assyria as a civ?
I mean, I don't think Assyria is that crazy of a Civ, but I'm still gonna give this an 8 because it's the entire Civ. Because also you couldn't even use the writer portion of the Civ without the Royal Library. So
Yeah. All right. This is like I actually think when I was doing my ramble on the Civ, like I didn't realize it gave 50 extra strength to a city. Like that's actually pretty meaningful.
Points.
Or 50 extra hit
points,
points. Yeah.
right.
Sorry, not strength.
Yeah, this
It's
is
turn
a good
20.
building.
70 strength.
This is a good building, and it does a lot more of what wall would usually do. The
Mhm.
problem is it's still a wall and doesn't have any sim benefit,
Yeah.
and it's so good for defending.
All right. What do you give it then?
Like, yeah, this gotta be better than Akkadian Library. I think this is a 4.
I was feeling 4.
walls are so like. Yeah, maybe Akkadian Library should be a 2. I feel like this is a 3.
I mean-
Akkadian Library is not that bad. It's 40 hammers. Sure, this is gonna hang out at 3.
I don't want to change my opinion based on what you guys said. I was just gonna say 1. Like this is terrible.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
All right,
It's
try,
a fucking
try to
wall.
crossbow,
man.
try to crossbow me on Babylon. Good luck.
Sure, but I don't know. I don't believe
Not a
in.
believer.
I mean, this is not going to help you once Artie come, and sure, it's going to help you defend before that, but I don't care all that.
Yeah, but
much
you're
about-
going at Artie with Babylon.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is, I don't care about defensive bonuses before Artie all that much.
Fair enough.
Artie is the first timing I'm really super scared of.
Babylon, the Bulgarian thing. I think this just gives gold to wheat and cow.
It's also cheaper, right?
It costs
4
10
hammers
less
cheaper.
hammers.
Oh,
Wait, it's 10.
That's a lot.
It's 10 now.
It got buffed recently.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
right.
Okay, that's actually a lot.
Yeah,
This is like definitely an insta build.
Yeah.
this
Wow.
building is a lot of a civ. Like,
Yeah,
this
but the
building's
Civ
really good.
sucks.
I don't think it sucks.
Kuba's
No,
been
the
very high
Civ,
on it
the
lately.
Civ used to suck before the Granary was 30 hammers.
30 hammer Granary is no joke.
Or I think they made it 32, maybe. I
I don't know. I think it's 30.
We should figure this out. Actually, this is very relevant.
The individual numbers.
Here we go.
I remember.
I'm
like,
kidding. I don't
I
know.
remember when this showed up in the patch notes. I
It
was
says
just like,
32 hammers. Yep, 32.
yeah, this showed up in Eep's patch notes, and it said 30 hammers, and I remember saying, "This does not feel okay."
I don't know. Like this building is obviously really good, but it's just, is it like, is 8 hammers really enough to put this like above a 5 for me? I don't think so.
I mean,
I guess it also gives
it gives gold too.
gold. Yeah, and giving gold to resources in general is so high value.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I hate Bulgaria. I'm gonna give it a 5.
I I think this is really good. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay.
Granary is really good, so I'm gonna give it a 7. But no, I'll give it an 8. I think this is like warping enough to change like how good the Civ is.
9. I think this is about as good as getting like craftsmen in every city.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that
I
without
can
the
see,
gold bonus, and then the gold bonus is
I can see an
significant on
argument for
top
that.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Uh, I'll go up to 6 so that the average looks like an 8. Whatever. Okay. Burma. This, if you talk about a Civ identity, this is literally the whole fucking Civ in conjunction with their UA.
I mean, their UA is a lot.
Yeah. This is cheaper and it gives hammers from iron, right? And
I-
salt.
And salt.
I don't think it's cheaper,
I don't think it's cheaper though.
but you can
Oh,
build
okay.
it everywhere.
All right. Yeah, I don't play Burma that much. I don't actually like this Civ that much, but
It's too like boring for me.
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it's like, we're comparing it to a normal Stoneworks, and the Stoneworks as itself is like one of the best buildings. I guess the problem is you can't build a Stoneworks everywhere always.
Yeah, we're not comparing it to normal Stoneworks. We're saying like how good would the Civ be without this unique building, and like a big part of that is just being able to build it everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that is pretty much all of it.
Yeah, and it is on Burma, which Burma wants you to spam cities anyways.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what do you say?
Good. I'm gonna say 6.
Clausen?
I'm gonna say 7. I think Stoneworks is the best building in the game, but the non-restriction is really, really strong.
6.
I'm gonna give it a 5. Okay. Papermaker. I think this is actually really good.
It's a spooky building.
It's so scary, and it fits the fucking Civ identity so perfectly.
3 gold per city, right? It's plus 2 gold and get
Yeah.
rid of the 1
And
maintenance.
no maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a lot more scary if Chukunus were better. If Chukunus weren't just like
You're
the
lucky
kill noob
Conrad's
tools.
not in here, bro. He'd start yelling at you. I don't know. I think this is at least like a 7.5 for me. It's just, I don't know. The gold is the biggest restriction most of the time when you're playing crossbow war, and this fixes that pretty much every time.
I mean, in case when you don't want to go crossbows, though, is this really that good? Like, there are gonna be cases where you don't want to crossbow someone as China.
I mean, think about it. On Liberty games, you could build these a little earlier and make 3 gold per city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a lot.
They're-
And not to mention on
pretty great.
Honor, you bleed a ton of gold, usually. This helps you kind of not be fucked.
I'd be willing to see a 7.
I can't rate it over a Kiowa. I'm gonna rate it a 6.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna make mine 6.5.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 5 because it's very good on the Civ in particular. But 3 gold per city on a building you don't build super early is not as good as something like Kiowa, I don't think.
Fair enough. All right. I was looking forward to this one. It is more expensive. It's 40 hammers, but as you all know, it provides 1 production and 1 gold, offsetting the maintenance costs and just having 1 base hammer. And then you can also send trade routes as hammer. Oh, it also doesn't require gold maintenance, so I guess that's +2 essentially.
Wait. The
All
40
right.
hammers is not more expensive, so
It's
if
44 hammers.
oh. Okay.
Wait, is it 40? It's 44. I thought it was 42. 44?
It's I'm looking at the master list. I mean, this is
Okay.
there's very good chances wrong. So
I mean, I'm probably more likely to be wrong than that. Are
Yeah,
we
I think
assuming
it
like
is more expensive.
tourney settings so random coast could be on here? Because that is very significant for the Civ.
uh yeah, I think that's how most people play nowadays. So
Even random free for alls people would random coast a lot, so
I mean, I think they all just kind of want to prep for tourney, right? So
yeah. I mean this is on the best civ in the game, and this building is part of why this civ is the best civ in the
Yeah.
game.
I mean, the base hammer on a granary is just fucking insane to me. I don't.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Base
It
hammer on a
does-
granary.
It lets
It's more
delay
than
your
just
frame
that, though,
rate.
It's
right?
the gold. It's also the gold.
It's
Oh,
also the
fine.
ability to send hammer trade routes.
I obviously, yeah. But a lot of the
know,
time
I
you
think that-
still want to send. If you're not settling a coastal, a lot of the time you're still sending food. So
It's so powerful to just be able to like.
If
drop
you're playing
a-
tradition, it's so nice to just like send the hammer trader and say, I want all the wonders. in
no,
the
Yeah,
of
game."
course, of course, of course. But a lot of the times you're not playing tradition on the Civ. This Civ can play everything. I'm not saying this is bad. I don't think for a second I'm saying this is a bad building, but I don't know. I think this is like an 8. This feels like an 8 to me.
I mean, if you ignore the trade route ability, this is worse than Bulgaria Granary for sure. The one hammer is not worth the 12 extra hammer cost, but the hammer trade routes make your game so consistent, especially on the coast.
Mhm.
Um,
I settle a lot of
And-
coastals as the Civ. That's why I.
yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I am torn between a 9 and a 10 on this one. I think I'm gonna go 10. I think just the consistency of the hammer trade routes
That's fair.
is very important.
I'm gonna put this on 8 because I can't rate it higher than a cam bar.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go 9 because I think it is higher than a cam bar.
All right, Stella. I'm going to put this as a 10.
Easy 10.
There are 3 buildings in my head that are 10s, and this is one of them.
I'm putting it at a 9.
Hawks?
9.
We don't really need to talk about it. This is like super obvious. It's just monuments are just so important for the game, and they have a really good one. Okay. I don't want to talk about this building because this building is kind of cool.
What is the promotion on it?
It gains 10% HP additional inside friendly territory.
Wait, so it's not like March though, is
It's
it?
not March, but it's like medic.
Okay.
And then
like
it's 2 culture from lake tiles.
The non-combat bonus of elite forces.
Yeah, exactly.
But only in your own territory?
Yeah, only in your own territory.
Okay.
I mean, this is night and day better than a fucking normal shrine. Like, I would actually want to build shrines in some cases if I have lake cities, right?
Is it 1 or 2? It's 1 culture now, or is it still 2?
It's 2.
2. Okay. I'm gonna go with a 3 on this because I like promotions, combat promotions.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, we're rating it in comparison to average, right? This is
We're
Yeah, I
rating
get-
it in comparison to how the silver perform with or without it, as well as
I think it's a 4 because I've gotten value out of the lake bonus before.
I was actually gonna do 4 as well. I think it's kind of like it can be really really good in some situations, and then
I think the no maintenance shrine is just quite decent, just because
Yeah.
you get to, like, if you have spare hammers, you just kind of build these things, and they give you faith, and they don't really cost anything. They help you with the religion. Where they
You're
already
always
discussed.
playing Liberty on the Civ too, so you
Yeah,
find yourself
so
with
like
extra
building
hammers a
this,
lot.
it's probably a 5. I was considering a 6, but yeah,
Interesting.
no, it's probably a
That is
5.
not where I thought this building would land, but all right. I thought I was gonna be high. All right, the Gaul Wall. For all of you guys that are not aware, it is cheaper. It's 44 versus 50. Does have better defense, 6 versus 5, and then you have to research masonry to get it, or mining to get it in your cap. And then once you get metal, you get 1 production, 1 happiness, and or you get 1 production, 1 happiness from the wall, and then 1 additional production after metal casting.
I mean, this is just the big part of the Civ, right? Like
Yeah.
the UA starting with a wall. I assume we don't count that because
Oh
that's
yeah,
just
yeah,
the
yeah.
UA.
No, yeah. But it
But
does kind of.
it does make a Civ. It's a happiness on a building that usually doesn't have happiness. It is really good. I think I like an 8 on this.
8 is also what I was going to do. So definitely better than the Kiowa. I also like. I don't know. I'm probably pronouncing that so badly. Um, but it's significantly better because it's just a free. It's just basically the same, but it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you would normally have a Stoneworks on other civs in some cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 8 is fine. Stoneworks good. This is a Stoneworks.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, we'll switch to A2 because originally I was like forgetting that you want to go masonry early anyway because of the fucking pyramids. Okay. This building just got a buff.
It didn't just get. It got a buff a lot.
I still think it's kind of garbage.
earlier.
It's 3 base faith, 1 culture from strats, and then units trained in the city earn golden age points for kills.
And that does work while you're in Golden Age, right? You accumulate
Yes.
points while you're in
Yes.
Golden
Yeah,
Age.
but it's also a wall on a build queue civ.
It does. The Civ does. I just played the Civ Liberty on some very suspect land, but it does have build queue problems for sure. At least until your synagogues finish.
Yeah.
Then once those are done, you're chilling.
The problem is, like, this is a building that gets pushed to the bottom of the build queue, and, like, I don't know. It's not bad. 3 faith is good, but you're not building it early enough to really take advantage of it. It's good.
I had a triple horse city in one of my recent game. It was my only recent game as the Civ, and I built this instead of a monument.
Yeah, that's fair. It's
Is
good
this
if
cheaper?
you've got, like, strat
It's
density
44.
in the
Or
cap.
no. It's actually not cheaper. It's the same. It's 50.
I don't know. I don't think it's that good. I think it's fine. Like, wall is a pretty weak
The thing
building.
about it is that this does have 3 base faith with it, which is a shitload. Especially on a Civ that wants to play wide, which does help you get that first religion and help you spread, which I think is actually pretty significant.
But like the beliefs that you want aren't super contested, right? The building that's most contested is pagodas. The Civ really wants synagogues, and like
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, if you don't get pagodas, you're likely like I did cathedrals and synagogues in my game, and I
that sounds great.
yeah, but you just lack happy if you do that. I ended with
Okay, then
Kotel.
you can do like mosques.
No, I know, but that's my point. Where it's like pagodas and synagogues is like perfect.
True.
You're kind of settling if you don't get pagodas. So having, even if you build these in your cities, I don't think you're gonna get pagodas that frequently. I don't think this building's good. This is all the point I'm trying to make. Like, I think even in the perfect scenario where you build a couple of these early and you get an early religion, pagodas is likely still gone. No
Yeah.
one's going to contest you on synagogues anyway, so the faith is pretty irrelevant. And then you liberty finisher regardless.
Yeah.
So
I mean, walls are pretty useless. I don't think this breaks 4, but I guess I could see it at like a 3.5, maybe.
I built this, like, if I don't find a Faith Natural Wonder, I built this before Settlers.
really,
I
Yeah.
think that's reasonable, actually. I'll do a 4. 'Cause
actually,
it
that
is-
actually
it is
makes
better
sense
than a
because then
shrine.
you yeah, it's better than building like a shrine, and
And, like,
you also get some
the
culture
culture-
gen.
Yeah, the culture on iron is
I didn't even
real,
think
and like
about
you can
that.
improve horses and work that as a settler tile. That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially, yeah, especially if you have Plains Forces, then it's just
Yeah.
like a 2 culture free faith building.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay,
It's a cool idea.
I would do a 4.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Kuba, like how you're supposed to use this. I still don't think it's very strong though. I'm gonna go with a 3.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think it's pretty strong. I would give it a 5, I think.
All right, Dojo.
Right.
This is one of the ones that I was debating putting it at a 10, but I did not.
I think it's a 9.
This city, if for people listening, this gives 10% combat bonus to every single unit in your
Now, only
train.
land units.
Only land units.
Oh,
It does not work with
Yeah.
boats.
it says
Or planes,
units trained
probably.
in the city.
I don't
I
think
know,
it
I
gives,
know it says that, but it doesn't.
Okay.
I don't
doesn't
think it
give it.
gives bonus.
It doesn't
to
give to
planes.
naval units, and I would assume that means it also doesn't give it to
I'm
air
pretty
units.
sure it doesn't give it to planes.
Okay, well, similar to discipline then, but it also gives two science, which is a sim benefit to a barrack. So I think this is one of the reasons why Japan is one of the best scaling civs in the game. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
It just does so many things for you on a building that, like, usually doesn't do anything. Which
Yeah.
I think that's a 9 sort of thing. It's 10%. Like,
Yeah, I'm fine to give it a 9. I think it's 8.5 or 9.
I'm gonna give it a 7 because it's the combat bonus is amazing, but again, it's only on land units.
Yeah.
And as an inland civ, this would be better.
Yeah.
But as a coastal civ, you just don't have that many land units. You have a lot of naval units. You have a lot of air units.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the 2 science I think is like almost irrelevant to the value of
I
this building.
I've played Honor Japan a good amount of times, and it's not relevant at all. It is
Okay,
relevant.
it's not irrelevant
Yeah.
if
It's
you play
relevant
Honor.
a lot if you do that.
If you play Coastal Honor, then yes. I personally don't play Coastal Honor. And if you're not playing Coastal Honor, I think it's irrelevant.
It's pretty relevant. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, I'm going to make it an 8.5.
I mean, I would build this for science about the time as a library, but
I mean,
Sure,
the
I mean,
library's better.
The library's better, and like it is worth building, but it's just at some point probably, but it's just not giving that much benefit. It's not that much better than other things you could be building at the time probably.
Sure.
Also, Coastal kind of has build queue problems anyways.
Not after Aqueducts,
Not after Aqueducts, no, but like, this building, I mean,
but after Aqueducts, there 2 science is pretty relevant. So yeah, I get what you mean.
yeah, exactly. Like,
All right, Rova. I'm really excited to hear your guys' opinion on this because I think this building is ass.
1 happiness, 3 faith, right?
1 happy,
Yeah.
3 faith, 50 hammers.
4 because you can't like I can't give it lower than a 4. It has happiness on it, and the faith is like somewhat useful. But I still don't ever want to build this building early. I mean, I'm a known faith hater though, so
I mean, this building is a single reason to, like, this building does not have synergy with what the Civ wants to do at all. I think,
yeah.
like, but it is a way to safeguard yourself, which is different than building units, because you click piety. Like, let's say you built your monument, you click piety on like turn 10, then you run into a Macedonia or a Zulu player on like turn 13. Like, oh shit. Then you plant a city, you queue a wall first or after a shrine in your piety city, and you're like, go away, please.
Well,
Leave
I mean,
me
the other
alone.
important thing, though, is that the Civ is just like, you either archer the Civ, or you kill the Civ in modern era and never in between, because the unique unit, the Inquisitor, is literally impossible to kill.
Yeah, so like you can like your this building allows you to mess up your game a little bit for being able to stay safe, kinda sorta. So I think it's actually not that bad, and I think people just like don't use it correctly. Like I think if you die on Madagascar to something early, you just like did not build your wall early enough. Like so
That's fair. I just it's just one of those buildings that you see as Madagascar. You know it has a lot of value, but you never want to build it.
Yeah, it's also Madagascar doesn't tend to have the hammers to build it because your
Yeah.
legend is all about planting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
So you're not actually
don't-
you're never taking like restaurant.
sometimes you don't have the hammers, but you have to build it anyway. And it's just like just like you close your eyes, you build it over a granary, and you're like,
the
I
problem
know
is
this sucks
faith.
for my game. But
Faith gen does not feel as good as hammers do. You know what I mean? Like,
It doesn't feel as
Yeah.
good because it isn't as good.
well,
Yeah,
I
it's
obviously, I'm not disagreeing with you there at all.
on this side, it kind of is though, because on this side, 5th gen is defensive ability.
It's
And-
defensive hammers, yeah, that's true. But
It's
like I don't
Guys,
know.
okay, we're spending way too long on this. What's your answer?
It's like a 3.5.
I put this as a 2. It's so bad.
The happiness is not a
The happiness is fine, but the problem is most of the time when you're playing Madagascar, you don't have happiness problems, and
That's true.
it's like the definition of a build queue clogging fucking thing. It's you never
Yeah,
build. Like I build this after workshops, like
this
most of the time.
this would be like a relevant building on like a different civ.
I mean, I'm gonna do the
Yeah,
crazy
I
thing.
agree.
I'm gonna give it a 7, and
Oh
just
my
like
God.
fucking
this
God.
saves you.
Fuck you, dude.
Like,
Okay, Pillar of Ashoka.
9.
For those who don't know, it's half the hammers, but available at pottery.
Super cheap monument is cracked.
I agree. Say 9.
I think it's a 9.
I'm also going 9. I think this is. Yeah, well, no, I'm gonna go 8. It's definitely worse than the unique granary. It's definitely worse than Bulgaria granary.
I
Is
think
that
it's
is
8.
that your reference point?
Well, that's my reference point right now for like the really strong, like for the really strong buildings. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's an 8. Like this is less than half of the civ.
Why? Because the
It does
workers
also
3/4
not
of it.
have maintenance
Yeah, the worker's a lot more important than the.
I mean,
than
this
the
used to be a 10, right?
And
Yeah,
then they
because
made
you
it
could-
And
gated
then
at pottery.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
you could build it first. That's why
I
it
know.
was a 10.
It's stupid.
That was so
I
fucking
still think it's a
stupid.
9. All right, let's talk about another 10 building.
Yeah, this is a 10.
This is the one that I was
Yeah.
like, this is always a
I mean,
10.
do we even need to talk about this building?
Not
This
really.
is the
This is-
easiest 10.
This is actually the best building in the game.
You should
This
at
is
least
an
list the
11.
yields.
I mean, we could give it an 11. I don't give a fuck. Like this is not fair to be ranked against any other building. Like
I know, just give it a 10. That's why I'm not giving anything else a 10. because
That's fair.
pyramid exists.
okay.
Pyramid yields, by the way, for people who don't know, are 2 faith and 2 science.
For no reason at all. There gives an extra
Vanilla
faith.
civ.
Yeah. Okay. The Crepost.
I want to hear Hawks talk about this one.
Yeah, I would love to hear talks about Crepost.
I mean, if you click honor, this is amazing. If you don't click honor, you're still not building it anyway till late. I mean, I have to give it a 3 because,
It's-
like, if you build honor, it's amazing. If you go honor,
That's good. That's a fair thing. I think this is a 2. This is like
Yeah, it's a 2.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys don't believe in border growth.
I-
so
It's
not
okay.
that.
You are crazy. I've always said the border growth in settlements was like the main
Okay,
reason I'm
sure.
picking it.
I
was that.
Live,
That was
I
me.
I always click settlements, even when I'm doing settler builds.
Okay, I guess you guys do believe it. Kuba doesn't.
I do believe.
We need
I believe less than you. I think.
no. I
Who
just
likes
think
the
I'm not
trash
gonna
things?
build it on a fucking barrack, man. Like that's so dumb.
I mean, yeah, I'm still not building this if I'm not honor.
Yeah.
I just think if I'm honor, this is
Oh yeah.
so much
If you're
better.
honor, it's amazing, for sure.
Yeah.
I might build this on lib if I'm like really bleeding money and I really want my borders to go to this luxury.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I
Glossen.
think it's a
It's
2.
a 2. This is such a 2.
Kuba.
Yeah, it's a 2.
All right. This is a hard one. The changes are provides 1 faith, 2 food, 2 culture. So the faith is no longer.
Whoever wrote the doc has no idea what this does because no one has any idea what this does right now.
No,
Changed
no.
so
The
many
faith
times.
is no longer like an option. It's you're guaranteed 1 faith. You obviously have the 2 base food. You have like the normal foods and stuff, but in addition to that, you get 2 food, 2 culture if it's adjacent to 3 coastal tiles, and lakes count. So instead of having the faith be like 3 faith if adjacent, which it used to
I think
be,
it was 2, right?
It used to just be 2 unconditional, and then
Yeah,
it
it
was
used to be
nerfed
2
to 2
unconditional.
conditional, and
yeah,
then I guess so now it's
now
1
it's 1.
unconditional. Right.
This is in contention for the most changed buildings in the Civ history.
True, very true. Where do you put it?
It's also 40 hammers instead of 30 now, right?
Yeah?
It's just normal granary cost.
Yes, it is not cheaper anymore.
Hmm.
I think this. I mean, on release, this was a 10, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll release it at 30 hammers, so
Yeah.
It is also at save,
So?
which is
no,
annoying.
on release this was better than Maya Shrine. Like for sure.
When it had the base culture on it?
No, when it was 30 hammers and did the other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Better than
This
Maya
is
Shrine.
very good building.
I still think it's good. Like, I still think it's very good. Like, I put this probably at like a 7. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a 7 or an 8. I'd say 7.
I put it at a 5 because you have to grief your city a lot most of the time in order to get the benefit.
I don't think
And
it's
it's
that
still
hard,
worth
especially on islands.
it's worth griefing the city for it. But I don't think it's that much better than just playing normally. Um, the 1 faith is also nice though for Pantheon.
I mean, it synergizes so well with Starlight and stuff like that. Anyway, Kuba, go.
I'm gonna give it the same as the Madagascar wall.
What?
What was the Madagascar
You
Rova?
gave it
You
a
gave
7? Okay, shut up. You're an idiot.
Stonemason.
This
used to be
is conditional culture now, right?
Conditional on masonry, I think.
But it does not provide happiness.
But yeah, but it doesn't have happiness.
Can build it everywhere,
you
same
can build it
cost. I think it's 50 hammers.
Yep. So
Used to be
it's 1
cheaper,
base
it's not
hammer,
anymore.
2 culture on me at masonry. No happiness.
And does the normal stoneworks.
And does the
on
normal
stone
stonework stuff.
I mean, I think 2 culture is a similar yield to 1 happiness. So, like, I think it balances out on that front.
I think it's really good for tradition.
Yeah, it's very good for tradition. I think it's decent for liberty.
I don't like this for Liberty because I like my things to provide happiness when I'm playing.
Yeah,
Liberty,
but you don't
not
get that
culture.
many stoneworks in lib anyways. You get some, but they're not super common.
I think I'm gonna give this like a 6. I don't think it's like crazy good, but I think it's definitely it helps the Civ a lot with this tradition game, especially if it's not going for Oracle. And that's how I think the Civ's meant to be played.
I think it's a 5. This is worse than the Burma Stoneworks, I think. I mean, it's probably just about as good or even better on tradition, but a little bit weaker on other
God
trees.
damn it! I need to change that now, don't I? Okay, fine.
Yeah, you absolutely need to change that.
I agree with Hawks. I think it's a 5.
I think it's a 6. I think it is worse than the Kryat, but
All right, Zulu Barrack.
The most terrifying building in the game.
Okay, what do you give it, Kuba?
Jesus.
Do you want me to read you guys these promos? I read them recently, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I didn't know
Vanilla
what they all
Monty.
did. I knew the first one gave movement. I didn't realize it was like 10% defensive strength against ranged
Oh yeah,
attacks,
all of the promos have like combat.
25% flanking bonus. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's the best combat building in the game. The problem is it doesn't work. Like it doesn't work at the time where you want to give combat because it doesn't work on gunpowder or armored units. It only works on free
I mean, it's
renaissance
rescued from that
units.
problem by impies.
I think this is a 9 because without it, Zulu would not be Zulu.
I
On
think
any other Civ, this is the clearest like 1 or a 2.
Mm-hmm.
But on the Civ, it's like I would give it a 6.
I
This
yeah.
is
I disagree, Hawks. I think on any other Civ, this Civ becomes Zulu. I think this building is Zulu. And I
okay.
think
Maybe that's partly true.
I mean, no, if you become
but the Impies
goths,
are
you
still really
become
good.
goths.
Yeah.
You just
I think
become
it's a 7.
goths.
I think
No,
it's
I
a
mean
7.
Goths. Who cares about the? I mean, the Goths' ability is the hammers. It's the
Okay.
biggest part of Goths. I think.
Okay.
Goths believer.
All right.
10.
10. Yeah,
think
I had a feeling you'd do that.
I think it's a 7.
Okay. National Epic. Stele.
This is kind of an insta build, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, you're right. It definitely
This
is.
is an insta build.
But that being said, I'm going to go first. I think this building fucking sucks.
Yep.
I hate it. It's so fucking expensive. And it gives 2 food, 1 hammer, 1 gold, and 1 faith in all of your cities.
Yeah.
2. Oh, it is 2.
It's 2, yeah.
Until-
Actually, that's higher than I
until
expected.
some-
Most
Someone-
recent buff, right? Probably.
Until
remember being
someone, probably Ashwin, figures out how to make a DLL change that you can actually like build this with monuments, or until this just gets reduced to a fixed cost, this is like a pretty weak building. If either of those changes happen, then this is actually like quite a good building.
I mean, the problem is the Civ is so, oriented around this that it has to be above. It has to be at least a 3 to me. But
yeah, but the reason the Civ is bad is because it's so oriented around this. And admittedly,
You're
the
right.
religion change makes it better, but
It's a good Civ now because just the religion UA is actually
Yeah.
good.
it's so good. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 though. I hate this building.
Yeah, I
It makes
think
me
this is
so
a
mad
3.
whenever I play this Civ.
Yeah, I agree. It's a 3. It's so expensive. On any the only times when you could build it are times when you don't have shrines. Like if you're playing wide piety, which is kind of what the Civ wants to do, you're just not gonna be able to build this thing. It's 3 might even be generous. I don't know.
Honestly, yeah, I'm kind of thinking it's like a 2.5. But Kuba, I think you like this Civ, right?
No, Mega likes this stuff.
Okay,
I don't like
okay.
this stuff.
Yeah, Mega loves this.
I'm gonna give it a 3, and I think that's generous.
Yep.
Bizarre. This doubles Luxes and Strats, I think.
Yeah, but you don't actually
And
get to take
gives
advantage of it because
2 gold on Oasis or something.
1 gold. Yield provides 1 additional gold and 2 gold on Oasis and oil tiles.
Wait, it provides 1 additional gold. It has 2 base gold.
Yeah.
Mm.
Trade routes sent by this rival Ciz to a Bazaar will generate an additional 1 gold for both players.
I think that's regular market things. This is like the problem is no one trades with Arabia because you don't want to get cameled, or no one's like rushing to do that, and the Civ sucks otherwise. Like Arabia is just so bad.
And this would be actually pretty good if it was on a Civ that doesn't have the opinion of cameling everyone, right? Like,
Yeah, like if this was on like a peaceful sim Civ, it would be okay. It'd be like pretty decent because like
The
just
oil
extra-
doubling is actually fucking relevant too, especially with the
That's
desert
why-
bias.
that's the UA, not the building.
I think it's like a 4.
Oh, you're right. It does.
I think it's a 4. I don't know if this is better than Akkadian Library. I think it's a 3.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like this is like a 2.5.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I think this is a lot of happiness most of the time. It is very inconsistent happiness, which makes it bad. But it's I still think it's enough happiness for it to be 4.
I like this building. Like when you get bad land because you're Arabia of desert bias, you're not in condition to be teamed, and that this building kind of saves your game with like giving luck, being able to trade Luxus then after everything bad happens to you. So I think this is a 5.
The fuck was that explanation? uh, okay, Argentinian stable. Hawks, do you want to go? This is one of your civs.
Yeah, I mean this is such an amazing building. Um, it's just so many free demos, and it's something like especially because I always go civil first anyway on
Mm-hmm.
um, on most trees even. Um, this is just so good. I'd give it like an 8. I mean, a big part of the Civ is also just the improvement speed. I mean, probably the bigger part of the Civ is the improvement speed, but I think this is one of the strongest Civs in the game.
The bigger part of this civ is this stable. This stable is great. This is a 9.
Awesome.
I mean, how many resources do you expect to get on an average game?
I think like 1.5 per city, not in an
Yeah,
expand.
I would say this
expand.
is an 8. Like, I mean, like, if you're like the stable is essentially just like if you're expecting 1.5 per city, then it's essentially a building with 1.5 food per city.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not crazy.
I mean, yeah, that's not. I mean, if you're expecting one, maybe. I mean, if 1.5 per city is what you expect, then it should definitely be lower than an 8. Definitely lower than an
I'm
8.
kind of
I
expecting
was,
like 2, maybe like 2.3.
um, yeah. I mean, maybe. I actually
2.3.
want to change this to a 7. Um,
Yeah, I kind
maybe
of
there aren't. Maybe there aren't that many stable tiles.
Maybe my
It's still a
experience
very
with
good building.
Austria, Argentina is just really good, but I feel
I
like
think
I
I'm
always can do
fine
this.
leaving this at 8 because you're
Also, I'm
expecting
probably
more
just
than
thinking of Weedy right now.
I mean, in Weeby, it's a clear 10,
It's
but
yeah, maybe
clearly
it's a
because
10,
there's
but
so many
in
more stable
Weavy,
tiles.
yeah,
But in free for all, I guess I just don't
all
have
right.
a good sense of
Yeah,
how many stable
I'll
tiles there are.
and
Maybe.
in Weavy the stable tiles are sheep tiles, which are like spawning in food light areas. So a building with like 4 food on it is insane.
yeah. All
And
right.
like I've consistently gotten like 9 or like 7 or 8 stable tiles at the front in Weavy.
Who wants to talk about floating gardens?
Do we need to talk about it?
What
10?
I mean, I despise this building. I hate this building so much because it makes the civ not very fun.
do you give it, Kuba?
I'm gonna give it a 9 because out of spite because I hate it so much.
It's a
Awesome.
10. It was a 10.
Also a 10.
Yeah. Just like
Um.
the versus when I on the buildings, I'll give a 10.
Okay. Hippodrome. How many are there, by the way? I should know this. 80. Okay, we do not have to do all this right now. I didn't realize there was 90 fucking buildings. Hippodrome. I think this like is so mid.
It has happiness, right?
It's 1 happy, 2 faith. 63 instead of 67.
It's not bad. It's not great. It's like a 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna
Has
stick with my mid thing. I'm gonna give it a 5.
has a happiness, but is also an amphitheater. I think a 5 is good.
Yeah,
5.
I'd give
Definitely
it a
better
5.
than Rova, and definitely worse than Burma.
Give
Five.
Kotan.
Roba 2. Yeah, I'd give it a 5.
It's a lighthouse with 1 food.
1 food, but also it has +1 gold, right? And no maintenance.
The master list just says 1 food.
Yeah, it's got +1 gold, no maintenance, I think.
All right, well that changes
Does it?
things.
Does it also have a hammer, or is that just?
That's
No,
Weavy.
that was
It
removed.
used to, yeah. It used to, but it doesn't. It's okay, but I don't think it's big part of the strength of Carthage.
I agree. I think this is like pretty insignificant. 1 food on a lighthouse is like I don't know, 1 extra hammer on a workshop. It's kind of.
No, because it comes a lot earlier.
I'm just saying, like the
I'm
idea.
torn between a 6 and a 7 here. I think I'm gonna go 7 just because early yields like
I think it's a 6.
I'm gonna go 6 as well.
All right. Silversmith.
I'm a big fan of the silversmith.
Then talk about it.
this is just mint but cheaper and
2 gold.
It's
hammers,
It's
right?
2
it's
hammers.
a gold building that you build in every city that has hammers on it. That's got faith on it. Like, what's not to like?
There's no faith.
There's no faith on it. It's just 2 hammers.
You just always
for
take
an
fucking
ornament.
refined crafts when you
No,
play
Glossen
this.
just is thinking about Weavy where
I am
it's
thinking about Weavy. I am thinking about Weavy. The Weavy version of this building is better, but it's like what? It's 2 hammers.
It's 2 hammers,
what are
1
they-
gold instead of.
Yeah, like that's a
2
good
gold.
building. That's
No,
like
yeah, I mean, I
it's
agree.
50 hammers. It's like almost as good as the Stoneworks. It's not as good as the Stoneworks, but it's almost as good as the Stoneworks.
So where do you put it?
I'd give it like a 7.
I think that's fair.
When Celts was given this building, all of my love of Celts vanished because it doesn't have Cayley Hall anymore. I think it's a 6.
Hawks.
3. This building is like barely worth building on a normal game, I think.
It's 2
Unless
base
you have
hammers.
refined crafts. Yeah, I mean, who's like it's so much worse than a watermill. You probably build it, but you're not very excited to build it.
I don't think we're okay. Who's comparing it to a water?
I mean, I mean, watermills are very good, but there are times like I guess I in pre-prop I pretty much always build watermills. Yeah, it's okay.
Burial tomb, no gold maintenance. Too happy. I think this building's insane.
I'm gonna go the 9 because it has a negative, and then it makes people want to attack you. But 2 happiness temple, like you just always play piety with this because it's so insane.
I think you can play Liberty with this just fine and just like build it.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's true. As
Or
well.
tradition. Same thing.
I think it's fine as a 9.
I mean, I think you always want to do lib piety if you're doing lib, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna drop a 10 on this. This is
Really?
crazy. Yeah.
All right, Mead Hall. 1 extra happiness and a culture, I think. Yeah. So 3 happy, 1 culture. On a pretty mandatory building.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Yeah, I think it's a 6.
Oops. Kuba.
It makes your Colosseum do the thing better. I think it's a 7.
I was also gonna do 7. I kind of same idea. Yam route.
Does this thing? It does it do the airlift thing, right?
It does do the airlifting. It doesn't provide any gold, no maintenance, and it gives 3
Can I
science.
pass?
Can you
I have
pass?
no opinion on this thing.
I mean,
don't really know how to rate it.
I think it's terrible.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it a 2 because of the late game utility of it, of the airlift.
Okay.
Wait,
okay.
I thought it doesn't have the airlift.
I mean, actually,
No,
I
it
did.
does.
When we were watching Ergo versus Gao, the Oman airlift was actually kind of significant.
Yeah, there is some significance to being able to airlift. This building is pretty irrelevant otherwise. But yeah, the airlift is useful.
I'm gonna give it a
in
Yeah,
1.
circumstances.
I hate this building because it doesn't work with
2?
the whole
I don't know. The civ seems so bad. I don't think this is really contributing though.
I'm gonna give it a 2. Airlift has some utility, though it's not the coastal airlift.
Okay. Odeon.
Does this have what is the gold on this building? Is it
It's +1, does not have maintenance, provides 4 culture and a writer slot. I think if there's any building that we've talked about so far, except maybe a couple, that define a civ, that I think this is like definitionally Greece.
Yeah, I was actually about to say that if you didn't. I'm gonna
Sure,
give it.
but Greece is unplayable.
That's not the point. I mean, yeah, they suck, but if there was any redeeming quality about them, it's that they have this building.
I'm gonna give it an 8 because like 50% more writers, a lot of culture, a lot of gold. It's a very strong building.
Oh, it has the Raider Specialist.
Yeah, writer
Yeah.
specialist slot.
There's a lot.
Oh. Huh. Okay, that might change my opinion
4
about
base
this.
culture, man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's insane. Without even working the slot. Shit.
Yeah, you guys put the.
I think it's an
rating
8.
first.
I think I actually agree with that 100%. Like, I think this building's actually really good. Lawson? Kuba?
Mm,
I think Greece is so bad that I can't give it more than a 6.
I think, yeah, 7 for a very similar reason.
Fair. That's kind of fair. Lionsgate. Hittites. It's cheaper. It's 40, and it provides 2 gold, 2 culture. I think this is probably the best wall, right? Maybe the Gaul wall.
No, Gauls is
Game
better.
wall is
Yeah,
better.
but this is really good.
Very solid.
I think it's like a 6. You don't build it like first, but I think you definitely try to fit it in before aqueducts a lot of the time.
If you play tradition, do you build a monument?
No, because you don't really want to build a monument for a 40 hammer building, I don't think. Also, it's on masonry, which is like a tech that tradition often doesn't want to attack
Yeah,
if it's going Oracle.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess you could argue that you don't need Oracle if you're going to do monument and get this building, but
yeah, I actually think that the Civ is a Civ where you can get around Oracle because of the interaction. So I
yeah,
think
but you also like if you're not going Oracle, then you're going Petra, and do you really want to be tech masonry on a Petra rush either? Not really.
A lot of time there's stone when there's Petra.
Yeah, I mean, you probably like you have to with this Civ, but you don't want to necessarily in a lot of cases.
Fair.
You start with mining, so like it's not as much of a downside.
All right, what do you put it?
4.
6.
Lawson?
5.
This building sucks. I guess it gives 2
Yeah.
horses, which isn't nothing.
This is just a placeholder for when battering ram was removed, and it never got replaced with something that's actually cool.
This is just like the most boring thing ever.
I think this is a super easy one. This does nothing.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
I got a pantheon of this in a game at some point. I think it's a 1.
Do you want to do one, Glossen, or are you gonna be edgy and do it too?
I think it's like a 2. I mean,
I knew it. I fucking
like
knew
stables. It's like it's a stable. You can't like okay, fine. Yeah, it's a 1.
it. All right.
I have gotten a Pantheon off of this before, but yeah.
Put me an 8 on that Hungary thing. I think
You're so cringe, dude.
That is pretty cringe.
You're
No. Wait, I also want a 9. I want a 9 at most. Like this is obviously you insta build this, but this like without this building, like
Hungary is nothing.
I would without this building, Hungary is nothing. But I'd rather have like a Columbia granary for a Civ for sure.
No shot.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the building is just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, actually, wait, does it have great person generation on it?
The Hungary building?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
How much? Is it 25?
20 or 25.
And it still has 20. It has 25%
25%,
on it.
10% building production.
And
All right,
most
sure, it's
relevantly,
a 10. It's a 10. You also go, yeah.
you can build it in 2 cities.
It literally is the whole Civ. I understand why Kuba said 8, but
I mean,
I don't think it's a good
Civ,
Civ either. It's also not the whole Civ because Hungary is the most scary unit in the game.
That's true. It has one of the best timings in the game.
okay, Kuba is molding right now. We're gonna skip over that. Candy.
Shundi?
What?
might be 20. Who knows?
Plasmus will yell at you. I don't even know.
All I
if
know
got
is
that
I'm
right.
not going to try to pronounce it.
I don't even know if I got that right.
Candy. I think this building's okay.
Yeah. I mean, Gardens, like, being able to build a garden everywhere on coast is actually super relevant.
Yep.
But, like, it's Indonesia.
There's also 20 less hammers. That's fucking relevant.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
It is. I see it right here.
I think that was a recent buff, actually. I think.
How recent? I'm.
I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. It says 60.
I doubt. I have doubts, but I don't know.
Glossen,
If
hanging gardens for a pantheon.
Wait, are gardens still 80? Are
Our
gardens 80 or
gardens
67?
are
gardens are
80.
80 in free for all, yes.
Okay.
Dude, gardens are so fucking bad.
I'm gonna go with a 7 because it's actually a significant amount of faith, and gardens are getting gardens everywhere on the coast has a lot of value because you really pretty much are gonna be missing all your gardens.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a 6 for very similar reasons.
I
Kuba?
thought I was thinking about the 4, and I thought I was being generous, so I guess I'll go 5.
Gardens are like.
I
Not
think the main
irrelevant.
thing is you can build them anywhere. And that is a big thing when you're playing coastal. So,
Yeah,
you
but-
do not want to be settling around freshwater on coast.
Yeah, but my game's an Atlant ship, so I don't care.
fair enough. Yeshiva. 80 versus 67.
We're
But
playing by 80.
+1.
Man, if Burial Tomb costed 80 and this costed 67, Burial Tomb would still be better.
It's not.
I mean, it would still be better, and it's like not even close.
It's not the point at all. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, the
I
real
mean, it
cost-
goes to show just how shit Israel is, right? Like,
No, Israel is great because it has culture from pastures.
oh
I
yeah.
just- I don't think this is an insta-build either because I don't think I want to play with Piety with this. If I just want to ignore the building, I think it's that bad.
No,
You're
it's definitely
so
not that bad. I
wrong,
would
dude.
definitely
That
wanna
is
play
not.
Piety on
You're
this.
so wrong. You're like
I'd
just.
much rather have culture from pastures as my civ on like this piece of garbage.
I mean, honestly, I've
My
never really thought about
God.
it, but Israel's probably a decent trad civ, huh?
No,
Yeah.
it's a piety civ. Come on, this
It's
is a little
definitely a
insane. I
fucking
don't
piety
think
civ. What? I don't even
I
think the
don't
building's
think-
that bad.
I don't think the building's that good, but you still play piety on the civ because of the building. I'm gonna give it a 5.
Yeah, that seems right.
Kuba?
I'll give it a
might
6.
play-
I'll be generous.
I might play Libin to Piety on this civ. I don't think I'm playing Piety. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay. Courthouse.
I'm not gonna be generous. I'll give it a 5. I'll give the yeshiva a 5. Outreamer is like 9.
2 culture, 2 faith, 2 happiness. No gold maintenance.
This is incredible, but it is a courthouse, and in order to build a courthouse, you have to take a city.
Yeah, but you're playing Israel. Like, you're playing Israel in order to kill cities
Jerusalem.
so that you can build this courthouse. Or Jerusalem, so that you can kill cities in order to build this courthouse.
I think it's an 8.
It's a 9. This building is insane, and you always pick honor in the civ because of this building.
Yep.
Beret.
So 2 faith, 2 food at drama, 10% has pagoda effect, and it is also
10%.
you get one for free in cap, and it doubles if you pick piety.
No,
raise?
I think that
I
got,
think
Or is that
they-
gone now?
that's gone now. And it
Okay.
also, you can build it not on freshwater.
Yep.
And this used to be Khmer until people started using ballista elephants, and Khmer was pretty good back then already.
Didn't ballista elephants get buffed?
Yeah, they got completely changed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is a pretty good building. What do we give the Shundi? 6.
6.
Yeah.
How does this
it's like a-
compare to a floating garden?
Yeah, this is like, to me, this is like a 7.5 or an 8.
Yeah, I think it's like an 8.
I mean, as a building, like if you were to get it for free, this is like way better than a floating garden. It's
Yeah, but
about as
you're
much
not
if
looking
it's-
at the,
you're not
getting it for
It's
free
really
is,
expensive.
is yeah.
But you can also build a garden in every city. I'm still giving it a 10. This is
I had a feeling you would.
yeah, it's so much food.
It's like an 8.
I'm also gonna line it up with loading gardens as a 9.
Fair enough. Slave market. I love this building.
I also love this
I
build.
fucking love this building, man.
I hate this building.
I think this is like at least a 7.
It has a downside of removing your pop and never hitting any timing ever in the early game.
Yeah, but it's got an upside of having like an absurd amount of golden hammers.
And you forgot the other downside of you don't have a Coliseum.
Yeah, but there's always more happiness in free for all. Free for all is basically just like a calculation of input gold, output happiness. And this is
That
a
is
sieve.
true. You can get CS,
And this
that's
is a
really
sieve that
strong.
generates an absurd amount of gold.
I'm gonna give it a 5 because it is like still a
The
good
building
but I just
becomes
don't
a
find it safe.
7-7.
Yeah,
At
I'm
fucking,
giving it an 8. This
I-
is fucking
What?
trash.
Seven seven?
at industrial, like a 7 gold, 7
I
hammer.
love this
Are you
build.
sure it's 7-7 industrial? That
Yeah.
seems more than I remember.
I think it's like
No, so it's
570.
4. It's 4 production, 5 gold when you build it, and then it gets 3 production,
It
2
is
gold.
not for production. That's
Yeah,
definitely not true.
Yeah, I
It's
don't think
3.
it's that much. I think it's 3 production, and I think it's a 5-7.
I'm almost positive this is right.
I'm pretty sure it's 3 production. Like, I want to say 3 production, 2 gold, and then it becomes like +2 +5 or something like
I don't know.
that.
I would have guessed it was 3-3. I guess we should actually know what this building does to rate it.
Yeah.
Someone
Probably.
load up Civ.
mean,
Someone load up Civ. We'll come back to this.
Yeah, maybe I think I want to abstain from it for now. Like we have no idea what this does.
Fucking deep.
Kuba,
All right.
you're a hero.
Rock cut tomb.
1 base food on it and 1 or 2. It's 2 base food, right?
Oh, yeah.
2 base
It's actually
food.
pretty good.
2 base food, 3 base gold, 1 food on trade routes, right?
Yeah, one food on
Yes.
trade route sent, I think.
Sent from, right? I mean, not that like it matters on for how you play. It doesn't really matter for the strength.
Yeah. Honestly, I wish it would be sent to.
Yeah, 3 base gold instead of 2, and then 1 food.
It's like good. It's
You see, this is the kind of a yield I could get behind. This is kind of the opposite of a slave market. It gives you food and gold synergize together very well because the gold turns into happiness.
Well, also it doesn't replace your Coliseum.
Yeah,
which is the bigger thing. I mean,
doesn't sell your happiness.
this is tough. But I'm kind of
They
between
can nerf
8
this
and
building
9.
pretty hard, right? This used to have like 3 food or something.
Actually, yeah. I mean, we should make sure. Like, is it actually 2 food, 3
Yeah.
gold?
I'm pretty sure it is.
What? No. I'm telling you right now, it's 1 food.
Oh,
Is it 1?
It's 1 food. Gain an additional food for each trade route departing the city.
I don't think that's right.
no. I mean, is it? So is it? What's the gold on it? Is it 3 gold?
It's 3
or 2?
gold.
3 gold.
Oh,
Okay, that's not an 8 or 9. Then if you remove a food from it, this is now.
I was gonna say I think this building kind of sucks now. It
This
used
is
to
a
be really
6.
good.
I want to double check. I think it is 2 food, but I could be wrong. I mean, this sieve is still just like a nice sieve, right?
Man,
This is like the most Petra sieve ever.
I mean, this is the Civ, though, right? Like, this building is the Civ.
No.
The
No.
Scout is a lot weaker than it used to be.
Math?
Oh, right.
it's currency, I think.
I still don't value
Yeah,
math
it's-
all that much.
I think it's currency now.
I still don't value that much. Like,
Also, desert bias.
Yeah, but this is a sieve that like I don't know. I feel like this is a sieve where you actually like are fine to go Petra.
All right, 4 for me.
I'm
I
gonna
went
give
with
it
a
a 6 because I like it.
I'm gonna check what the food yield is, and then until then,
Did
I'm
someone
gonna give it
check slave market?
Yeah, I'm doing that next.
Yeah, I'm also loading up the game. I just was on the wrong mod.
I'm really curious about this next one from Glossen's perspective.
Which one?
Stave Church.
I mean, I just implemented my change, right?
Yeah. All right, what's the...
Yeah, Rock Cut Tomb's 2 food, 3 gold.
Oh, it's 2 food?
And this is in you loaded up free from mod, not weak mod, right?
Yeah, I loaded up free for all mod.
Then this is an 8.
All right, check slave market.
I'm doing slave market next.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now too. I think it's Rakat Tomb is a 7 then if it has 2 food.
What did I put it at? I'm gonna give it like a 7. Also, Nabatea thing is still at mathematics.
Oh god.
Just double check that.
Well, that makes it much better. All right, slave market. What is it?
Documents the changes, and they're just not real. No one knows what anything does in this mod.
Bro, what does slave market do?
I'm going. What's the name?
Congo.
I know it's Congo, but I'm doing the
K.
stupid. I can't do
Oh.
K.
Okay. I think it starts with the N.
Yeah, Nzinga.
Oh
Nzamba.
my god. Why
What?
don't you just open up like... Are you on like IG and you're spawning it in?
Yeah, and the problem is in single player, it's
Yeah.
Yep.
They can't even find the Colosseum on this. Oh, slave, because it's other slave market. Okay, cool. Interesting. Oh, because I'm Congo, right? It's 4 hammers, 5 gold, and 3 hammers, 2 gold on industrial.
Yeah.
Told you.
okay.
Holy
That's
shit.
more than I thought.
It's 4
Um,
base hammers, man. It's fucking
It's
insane.
5 gold.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Holy shit. That's still 6-7. Is that right?
It's 7-7.
All right, that's much more yield than I thought it was.
Told you guys this building's crazy.
Oh my god, this building
I'm gonna
is
give
cracked.
I'm gonna give them 8. I thought it was 3-3.
What did I give it?
You give it an 8.
I'll give it a 9. Building, I love this thing. No, I'll give it an 8. This is
Kuba.
I'm gonna give it a 4 because I still hate it.
Okay. Stave Church.
Building
For
is
those
like
who don't
better-
know, Stave Church now provides 1 production on Tundra tiles. And it's cheaper. It's 50 hammers or 67.
And it gives. And what else does it do?
That's
it
it.
gives. Wait, it doesn't give extra faith anymore.
No, the faith is now on their UA.
Okay.
I think this civ went from like a decent civ to a very weak civ, and this building went from a kind of a weak building to a very decent building.
Yeah.
I think it's like a 7.
This building's a 3. It's pretty much irrelevant.
I kind of was leaning towards that too. But I don't high roll like Glossen does, so.
Fine, make
If
it
I'm playing with
5.
Glossen
Make
RNG,
it a
then I'm going to
5.
make it like a 10. Fuck.
Make it a 5.
I think it's a 5. Like, I think you build it in Tundra cities.
Really?
You're gonna
Do you?
hunt.
It's also
You're gonna-
cheap. Like
You're gonna hunt for those Tundra cities.
it's also a cheap building, and like you can do. There are setups where like you are playing coastal, playing tradition, and you just build your shrines and temples because you have like because late in the game you have the hammer time, and then you get them up, and you like it's just nice.
Right, where's Miyoda for this next one?
I wish Miyoto was here for this because he would really be like the counterbalance to a lot of you guys.
Oh, yeah.
He'd definitely be siding with me in a lot of this shit. But it's fine. Okay.
I would give it a
Black.
6. It's like useful late game hammers. The culture is good. It's really good scaling, but it doesn't give you anything early. Actually, it's a 5. I mean, 5.
Yeah,
5?
I think it's a 5. Like this is being able to build a forge everywhere is actually really big, but like this gives no bonuses when you build it or like when you unlock it.
This is logistics artillery, though.
Okay, but like
It's logistics already after
factories after
after
factory
facts.
auto.
Yeah, after fact auto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's
don't know.
not it's not logistics alrea's
And
right away.
after mill academies, like this is not going to give you logistics already when you're doing fac already.
Yeah, like
I tried to. I
also-
posted a fucking video about it and it was so clunky. I already killed the guy by the time I got the shit.
Yeah, this isn't logistic arty. This is logistic rocket arty. Like the promotion part of this is so irrelevant. You know what the promotion part of this is relevant for is workshops crossbows. That's where this matters.
Yeah.
No, it's not, because you can't build an 80 hammer building when you're after a workshop when you're doing workshop.
That's the thing
crossbows.
about forges that sucks, is that they're so
Yeah,
fucking
it's there.
expensive.
Okay, fine. It's relevant for your cap with Toa going workshop.
I
crossbows.
genuinely think a forge
And
needs a buff. A forge needs a buff. I'm gonna say it. Forges need buffs.
I mean, forges are just not worth building early, and they're like, I mean, they're totally worth building late. But
Yeah, but like that's not a good design.
I mean, probably the most useful part of the accuracy promo, and promo is, I mean, rocket art is probably the most useful part, but maybe when you're doing some sort of classical, or I mean, some medieval trash attack, like after unis, if you're doing some after unis attack, maybe
No.
you're getting these.
You know what it's good
promotions.
for? You know, it's good for if you have a coastal. Then it's good.
I think I had 5 logistics crossbows in a tournament game thanks to this building.
Does it work on a coastal?
Yeah, accuracy's a pretty, or
No,
maybe
it's
it
not.
doesn't.
Actually, does
Oh
it?
shit, no, it
No,
doesn't.
It's,
Also, forges are usually only for land units. So
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. All right,
yeah,
never
I'm
mind.
gonna give it a 7.
It's building blows.
wrong.
Dude. You're fucking wrong. All right,
I mean-
Palmyra.
Having a forge everywhere is nice, but like
This was my change, I think. Palmyrian Theater. Or at some point there was my change implemented to it. where it was more
2
stuff.
base gold, no maintenance, so it's a +3 swing. 1 gold, 1 production, 1 culture from Oasis, 1 production from Lakes.
this building makes me think I rated the China Library wrong. This is just better. I mean, I guess you build amphitheaters later than libraries usually.
What did
so
you rate?
maybe
Usually,
not.
when are okay? The fact you said usually is really annoying to me.
I mean,
Show
when
me
you have-
a single fucking game you've ever played where you built an amphitheater, a base amphitheater instead of a base library.
I would not do that.
Okay.
On Palmyra, I would, but
That's
kind
not
of-
the point.
you have a good point. I'm gonna rate this a 6. I really like it. It's a lot of gold. It pairs well with desert bias.
Yeah, I agree.
Fixes you
I
guys
think this
by a
building's
little bit.
actually really
It's
good.
nice.
I think the
Yeah,
buildings are
I'd
really
give it a
good.
7 because it lets you play tradition and go Petra and not need Oracle.
I think another underrated
No.
thing about this is it makes. I know this is like very obscure, but it's really not. But it makes Lake Panth feel amazing, and
Yeah.
most of the time Lake Panth is just dog, but this with Lake Panth is actually crazy good.
I mean, I played. I think you guys might remember. I played some Liberty Palmyra game.
I
It's kind
do
of a
remember.
crazy lake game, and I had sub 130 stealth. It was with like big
Admittedly-
hammers and stuff. It
admittedly,
was.
We basically all agreed that we were just gonna like fuck off and let you do whatever you wanted.
Yeah, we
They
were
were
just
literally-
messing around and playing. So it was mostly free. I know I had one neighbor who
Yeah, you had one
Doing
neighbor who,
syntax
who
me a
like
decent
did his
amount.
best, but it was like bullet shredder. It was like he was not capable of doing anything.
I actually like it was. I got syntaxed some, not a ton.
All right, guys, it doesn't matter. Yes, the
Okay.
building is crazy. I think it's really good. I think a 7 is super fair.
I don't really like amphitheaters, and I'm gonna go for a 6 because this is a big improvement over an amphitheater. But still,
Yeah.
amphitheater.
All right, Ducal, iconic building.
It feels so good. I love it so much.
15% mounted units, XP, 1 gold, one gold from horse, sheep, cattle, and maize.
And it's 50 hammers instead of 67, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's cheaper.
I believe it is. At least it used
I
to
don't
be.
think
Give me a
so.
sec.
It doesn't require gold maintenance either.
It's like a 4 gold. It's like a 3 gold building. With the
Ducal
promotion.
Stable is 50 hammers.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay, that's not in this master list.
I think we
Wait,
should stop
did you
using
just
the master list. We should use our
wait?
memory plus
Kuba,
in-game checking.
did you check that? It's 50
Yes,
hammers.
I'm looking at the AG right now.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is insane. Maybe like
Yeah, I
an
didn't know
8.
that. Okay, that's actually insane.
Maybe an 8, 8 or 9, 8.5, maybe.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8.
I
I
think
mean,
it's...
the Polish, like, if you ever try to like crossbow Poland or like combo Poland or something, the Polish horses are horrifying.
Well, yeah, because like horses are like one of the best things to defend crossbows, other than like actual crossbows. And
I
better
think-
horses are good.
I'm gonna give it a 7. This actually does help you against already. It's a forge and a barracks for horse units, which is really strong. And cheaper stable, a lot of gold.
It's
So
like
it's
the
pretty
gold
good.
is perfect too because it really sets you up for a hussar attack. I know they're not that great anymore, but it
I
does.
think it's a 9. Like, it makes your sim feel so good.
It really does. It really does. Lawson? Lawson? Hello?
I said 8, didn't I?
Oh, okay. Painted Monastery. Or do you guys want to stop here? I think we're like a little
Yeah,
at
I
the
think we
halfway.
can stop here.
Okay. Yeah, this is half.
Yeah, we could.
All right. Well, this is a first half. All right, part 2. Mega is filling in. Are you excited, Mega?
I'm gonna go tank the ratings.
Okay. I think. Okay, if I'm remembering correctly, someone should definitely have Civ open because these docs are not always right.
Right, I'll do that.
All right, so Painted Monastery, 1 artist point, 1 production, 2 faith, and it's 67 versus 80, and no fresh water.
It's so mid.
It is,
Like,
yeah, it
I know
really
Mieta
is.
loves this building, but it's just like, why do I care?
How much? Wait, does it give culture?
No, it used to give culture. It doesn't anymore. It got nerfed.
It's 2 faith, 1 production, 1
It's not bad.
great artist
It's-
point.
It's mid.
All right, so where do you put it?
Are we going in order or?
No. It's just like whatever. There's only 4 of us, so it's not like
Okay, I'll put a 5.
okay. Kuba.
4.
I'll go with 4 as well.
Mud pyramid. This has no gold maintenance, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no
Correct.
gold maintenance. That's huge.
That like is one of my or used to be one of my favorite buildings in the game. Back when Songhai wasn't like a top 10 civ.
Yeah.
When Songhai was this building.
When it had no UA,
Yeah.
Wait, Songhai used to have no UA.
it used to
Or-
be like just the gold for capturing,
Interesting.
no
Okay.
river movement.
Okay. I love this civ on like wide piety stuff because you push through it so fast.
My favorite Liberty civs as well. Yeah, and this building is amazing.
All right, so where do you put it? I think the gold maintenance is actually probably like one of the most impactful things.
I'd give it an 8.
An 8. Holy shit. Hawks.
It's obviously insane on piety, but again, it forces piety, so I'll give it like a 6.
Kuba.
I used to play this a lot. Like I used to play this in Egypt, and I feel like this was pretty. Like it was worse than Burial Tomb, but it wasn't much worse. So
Where did we
I'm
put his
down for
Burial
an 8
Tomb?
too. Good question.
9, 9, 10, 9. Okay. Okay.
I'll give it an 8.
An 8. We'll do a 7. I think it's really good though. Spain. Cattle.
Is
So
it
yes, the
Is it 3 happiness or 2 in?
It's 2, but 2 culture.
It's the insurance policy for when you don't find the wonder.
A pretty good one at that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it used to be. Harder on the coast now, I'd say.
Yeah, I feel like islands don't have cattle. all
Yeah,
that
they have a
often.
ton of sheep, but no cattle.
Yeah, they do have a lot of horses, so you do still get them. But
Yeah, but it's not better than a normal. I guess, I mean, the two cultures obviously really impactful.
cattle is just so rare on the map.
Yeah, it really is. Is that a new thing? I feel like it didn't always used to be that rare. Maybe.
I think it's mostly because of the map script changing more plains to, and cattle's usually grassland.
Gotcha.
It's like fine, but it's not. I don't think it's as good as Mid Pyramid Mosque, for example.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think for me this would be like a 5 or a 6. So I'm just gonna give it like a 6, reminiscing about old Spain.
I'll give it a 5. I think this is like just a passable building.
I think what makes
I
it
think it's a 6.
really good is the devout, right? Just way more circuses in cities.
I'll give it a 6. I think. Because on the coast, like you do have more circuses, so you do get the culture in more cities. So it's just
Yeah.
a lot of free culture.
All right.
The worst temple in the game.
Is it really that bad?
5% science, right?
10.
It might have been buffed to 10.
It did get buffed to 10.
Okay, I just remember it's 5%. It's just
I mean, how much is 10% science? Like, maybe like, I don't even know.
nothing at the start of the game.
Absolutely nothing, yeah. Maybe this should have base science. Maybe what if it had 1 base science and 10% science? I feel like that would actually kind of be meaningful.
I don't
Maybe
like
not.
civs that have science bonuses in general. Like I don't think that sort of gameplay is particularly fun.
Anyway, I'm gonna give this one a 2.
A 2. Okay.
I think this is by far the worst temple in the game.
Okay.
Man, but 10% is a lot.
So is it just 10% science?
It's 1 gold maintenance instead of 2, but yeah, it's just 10%. It's actually so much worse than the other ones. Like, what the fuck?
I guess what is 10% science when you have like a public school in the city?
Maybe 2.
There's no way it's 2, man. That'd be
More
like
like
20
4.
science in the city.
Maybe 3. Maybe 3.
No, it's more like 4 if you're working uni slots, your public school, and you have like a 15 pop city.
It's a
Or like
modifier.
4.
It's a modifier that just stacks on top of universities. And
Yeah, but it's like 4 or 5 science.
I think
It's
fine.
fine. Like
Yeah, but that's at like late in the fucking game. Like you're seeing the most minuscule benefit ever for a building that's supposed to be like a core infrastructure building.
no, it's like if it's a okay. What am I trying to say? If you're on like 8 cities and it's like 5 science per city, it's like 40 science. It's not like 40 empire-wide science is not bad.
Sure. But
but it's at like turn 100 that it actually gives you any benefit. Like I don't know.
I don't think this is bad. I don't think this is like amazing, but I'm just gonna give it a 6 because I think
Really?
it's fine. Like
Hawks? I'm gonna give mine a
3.
4. Okay, 3. Sarai. I'm so torn on this one. Obviously, Timurids wants to be tradition or piety or something like that, and they usually have the hammers to build these. And I think this is one where what the fuck is with caravanseries and airlift? Like what?
This is the best building if you spawn Timurids as coastal.
Why?
Yeah, just airlifting between islands is crap.
Oh, true. That'd be so nice for moving workers.
the thing is, this doesn't actually do that much gold. Like that much more gold because it's just 1 gold per free pop, so it like breaks even at 6. And if you're like 12 pop, it's just like 2 more gold. Like, do I really care?
It's 1 year tradition, and you have 20 pop cities. That it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Like it's like if you have 20 pop
Wait, I
cities,
didn't realize
you're
it's
making
more
7 base gold.
expensive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's 67
Right.
versus 60.
Oh, it is more expensive. Yeah, put me down for a 4.
Hmm.
I don't think this is good.
It also has one additional air slot. Not that that's like great, but I think I'm gonna agree with you on that 4.
Yeah, I think 4 sounds about right.
I'll go 5. I think there's a lot of utility for the airlifting stuff as well.
Kinyaz Court. Hawks, talk about it. Do it right.
I mean, this has an extra base gold, right? And 20 gold per great person bulb per city. So it is an insane amount of gold over the course of the game. It's equal to just having Mazo if you're in 5 cities, and if you're wider, it's obviously better.
This thing used to break Weavy. Just have 10k gold when you meet. Head turn 100.
Mm. It's like good, but it's not anything game breaking, I would say.
I would say it's not an instant build either.
Yeah, definitely not an instant build. I'd give it like a 5. It's a good wonder effect over the course of the game, basically.
So what do you give it?
5, I said.
Okay.
I was gonna go 7, but now that Hawks give it,
I'm gonna
gave
go
it a
6.
5, I'm gonna go 6. Yeah.
Why were you gonna go 7?
I mean, it is a game-changing building. So
I mean, I played the Civ for the food on the wheat and maize tiles.
Honestly,
More
I
than
kind of
anything.
forget. I kind of forget this thing even exists. Like I don't know. It's just kind of like a market.
I don't know what this building does.
I will read it to you. Replaces the East India Company. Compared to East India Company, provides a free trade route for a total of an additional 2. Okay, I guy, you could have wrote that better. Boosts gold generation by an additional 15% and does not require markets. Available at currency instead of guilds. I feel like the problem with that is when are you going to be wanting to make an East India before guilds? Like, there's so much
if you don't
more.
have to have markets, it's actually not that bad.
Really?
And I mean, it's just like a big market, and I believe the cost of this doesn't scale with the number of cities. I certainly hope so, and I'm about to test that, so... Oh, I guess I need to actually load in as that stupid Civ. Alright. It'll take me a little bit then.
I would say this is probably an instant build because it gives 2 free cargoes.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think it's very good though.
I don't think it's very good either, but I think it is an instant build.
I mean, this is all of Venice, so we are raiding Venice right now.
All right, 2. Like, this is literally the whole 7. It's this mid. Like, I don't know.
I'll go with the 4. No, I don't know.
I think Venice is better than... is Venice better than Greece? It's about as good as Greece. It's probably a 6.
Greece is good. I like Greece.
I'll give.
Go Hawks.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna give it a 4. It's like it's 1 extra cargo, right? And
It's
like
kind of like 2.
more gold, and it's much easier to build. Yeah, it's kind of 2 because it's much easier to build, right?
I'll give it a 4 as well. Like, and that's saying a lot. Like, that's the entire Civ.
I don't know. Venice blows, man.
Yep.
All right. You bids. They have desert bias, and it's 2 faith in the city, which I just found out about. 1 science from floodplains and 2 science from oasis.
Yep. How often do you get like an actual science value out of this? You like this?
Rarely. I do love the design of this building, though.
It's such a good design, but I never get any fucking yield, like actual yields from this. I don't know why, but it never works out.
Yeah, and the faith is very insignificant, I would say. I'm just gonna give it a 2 because it just doesn't do anything really.
A 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2. This is weaker than the
I agree.
temple.
2.
All right, Mega, do you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, this is actually one of the best buildings in the game. It's 4 culture, right? In FFA, 4
Yes.
culture and 2 happiness, and it's a wall that a castle that doesn't require a wall that is also cheaper. It's actually like one of the most cracked single buildings.
Wait, is it 4 culture?
Yes, it's 4 culture.
It's not cheaper though.
Isn't it 100 hammers versus 138?
It's
No, 100 hammers is
107.
normal.
It's 107 for a castle, and I think it's 100 for this thing. This like
And
slightly
you don't
cheaper.
have to buy the build the wall.
The wall,
which is-
yeah, you don't have to build the wall, which is huge.
So it's one of the best culture buildings in the game. Gives happiness, and then if you get Neuschwanstein, it's crazy. So I would say this is an instant build, and I'd give it like a 10.
Jesus. Like when I play India, I do like just when I get chivalry, I just start queuing these in every single city. Having said that, I don't think it's as high as Mega rated it. I think it's like an 8.
I mean, this is a great building, but I think it's weaker in context to the Civ. The Civ doesn't need the happiness. Like, it needs the happiness less than any other Civ at that stage of the game. So I'm gonna give it a 6 because it's a great building. But it's like a 4 culture building, and the 2 happiness is pretty mediocre on India, in my opinion.
It's actually a good point. The happiness is pretty insignificant. I guess this is like the alternative to building zoos and coliseums.
It's like you built this instead of a Colosseum, but for an extra 33 hammers, you get 4 culture.
Yeah,
It's
but
pretty good.
no, I mean, I think this building is really good. I'll give it an 8. It is also very defining of the Civ.
Kuba needs to talk about this one.
Oh yeah, I mean it is on like one of my favorites for sure. I mean it's just good, right? Like it's cheaper. It's I think it's cheaper. Is it?
It's a lot cheaper.
It's 50.
Like, because excuse me,
50 versus 67.
It's 50 versus
80.
well, a normal workshop's 80, dude.
Oh, is it 80? Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really good. And as Iroquois, you have forests, so it like gives you an extra benefit. It basically makes the Civ.
I mean, you have forest because of this. Like, this is the entire
Yes.
Civ, and Iroquois is a good Civ. So I think this building is a 10. Like, it is so much cheaper. It gives a ton of yields. Like, this is the Civ.
Man, is it a Civ? I mean, I guess it is the Civ.
It
All
is.
right, yeah, this put me down for a 10. Yeah. I can't not put 10 on Iroquois, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is your favorite Civ. I'll go 9. I do remember when the Civ, or when this building was the worst building in the game.
Oh yeah.
Had no 10% modifier.
Mega, what do you think?
9.
I hate not being able to chop, man. I don't care how good it is. I don't know. All right, Coral Port. What does this even do?
It's a good question.
Yeah, that's
It gives you 1 extra food, and then gives you 2 production from coral, 1 culture from fish, pearls, and crabs, and 2 gold from whales. So basically, you're trying to hit coral, and if you don't, you're big sad. And
I hate this design so much.
I mean, the bonus is not very large either way.
Does it still have food on it, like base food on it?
I don't think so.
One base
No.
food.
Wait,
has
it
one.
does? Really?
Yeah, it has one. I'm just looking at it in the game.
Because
So
they
there's
removed,
one base food and it still has 2 base hammers, right?
Yes.
yeah, they removed that at one point, and I just never played the Civ again.
Man, it's better than a workshop. It's not much better than a workshop. It's probably a 4.
I'll go 4, I guess. I don't know.
I hate how this is like so inconsistent. It makes you, when you spawn in, either love your game or hate it. It's dumb. It's so dumb.
Even if you don't hit, you get a little bit of culture.
I'll talk about the next building, by the way.
I think Coralport is about an 8. I think it's a ton of free yields, a lot of culture. It's really underrated.
Okay.
But seriously, like compare it to the other buildings, it's so many more free yields, like on a building that you build anyway, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you're right, but
I'm just underwhelmed by the yields that it actually gives. Unless you get Coral, unless you hit the high roll, then it's actually insane.
like Glossen should give this a 10, but Mega should give it a 4.
Probably true. I never hit the high roll. This next building used to be the single best building in the game.
Why?
When it gave, so it used to give a profit that could spawn religion for Lithuania, so that you could keep spawning profits throughout the rest of the game and not get capped by industrial. Now it's just a grand temple that gives you some faith return, and it is literally not better than a normal grand temple. So I'm gonna give it a 1.
You can build it without a religion, which is you can build it. Yeah, it's a 1.
Went
1,
from the-
obviously, this doesn't do anything.
It went from being the best building in the game to the worst.
This is Renaissance, not medieval, by the way.
Fuck. You guys were supposed to check this. FYI.
I did, and then I missed this one.
Moors.
This is Ox's baby. You can talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, so 3 base science per city and Aztec growth on a civ that can actually build castles. I mean, it's not as good as floating gardens because you get them much later, but there's still, I think, after castles, there's like a lot of time where you want to be growing. I think this is a 9.
Yeah, I'm done for a 9.
This was one where I was like, is this a 10? When I was like thinking about the buildings in my head, I was
I'll
thinking
go 8.
if this is a 10.
I'm
But-
gonna go 8 because it requires a wall.
If it didn't require a wall, it'd be a lot better. But
It's kind of crazy because it's a 9 and like this isn't the whole civ at all.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the civ bonus is really, really strong. So it just goes to show how strong Moors is as a civ.
Yeah, it's at top 20 civ probably. So yeah.
It's yeah.
I mean,
I think in free for all, it's probably top. It might be a top 10.
I mean, Alcazaba is like on any other civ. I don't think Alcazaba would be particularly good. On Moors, it's insane.
Yeah, I agree.
all right. This is another weird one. I don't really like how there's national wonders in this, but whatever.
Is this the best national wonder in the game right now?
I think it has to be, right?
I mean, Vatican's GT is strong.
Yeah, and also Sweden's Ironworks, but like I think this is better than Sweden's Ironworks.
It's a Taj.
Yeah, this
right?
is
Like,
probably the best.
It's a Taj. It's also a Hajj, and it requires walls instead of.
Oh, actually, no, I lied. There's the free palace for Hungary. That's the best one for sure.
Does it count as a national wonder? I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Mega, you want to see what they rated it?
Yes.
Kuba gave it an 8.
Huh, that's it. That's outlandish.
You know what I think about Hungary.
All right. I think this is a 10. This is like the best thing ever. This is like Hermitage without the fucking obnoxious building in the way.
Yeah.
It's a
Man.
10.
10. Yeah, if we gave the Hungary Palace a 10, this is better than the Hungary Palace, I think.
Well, you see, I didn't give a Hungary Palace a 10, and I think I should give this a 9. Like,
This one's
You're
not quite as
so
good as-
cringe.
I know it's so good, right? But okay, maybe it is a 10.
No.
It's way
Damage
too
is
good.
done.
All right, we need to boot up Civ for this one.
I have no idea what this does.
All I know is it makes people get socked.
Oh yeah, it is. It does actually a lot of things. I played the Civ a bunch, and I almost remember what it does.
I
Okay.
think it might be 2 hammers on
Okay.
trade routes you sent from that city. Internal
Yes,
trade
it's-
routes.
Like,
It's
why
two
the fuck is
hammers.
that a thing? That is
I-
so random. Like, what? Who
Okay, it
thinks
is-
of that?
Okay, it is 2 hammers for outgoing trade routes. It's 5 defense, and it also gives your city a citadel effect.
Oh, right, that's the weird thing it does.
And it also allows you to airport stuff, airlift stuff.
Airlifting is actually very relevant on the coast.
Oh, I didn't know about the airlifting thing. That's, yeah.
That's new. That's new.
That is very new.
Like airlifting is actually so relevant on the coast. Like for especially in late game with spaceship parts.
I'm gonna give this a 3. Like the sim bonuses are not that relevant. I
Remember,
don't
it's a
think.
harbor.
I'm gonna give it a
It's a
6.
harbor. Like, yeah, you build your harbors in island cities.
Just-
You don't
just
build
for-
in every city.
Just for airlifting. In late game, airlifting is super relevant for the coast. Like transporting unit like tanks from islands and stuff. Like it's very relevant.
Yeah, it has great late game utility, but something that doesn't give significant sim bonuses, or even really, I don't think the defensive bonuses are relevant either.
It's a hammer building, and defensive bonuses, if you try to frigate this Civ, it's not gonna work.
No, but you don't. Like, who's trying to frigate Oman? Their ear.
no, I mean,
Their ear by frigate.
Yeah, assuming you're relevant in late game, then this building becomes insane.
I think it's a 5. I think it's 5. Yeah, 5.
5? No, dude, I don't know. This fucking Citadel thing is so useless.
I mean, the Citadel thing, frigates is the only thing it could possibly be relevant for. It's not relevant in like late game Battleship Destroyer wars. You don't have it built earlier. Even in Frigate War, I don't think it's that important. Like,
It's not. Like the only thing it's relevant for is the airlifting. which I
Bro,
think
you
is
are
actually
attacking
insane.
as Oman. If you are ever getting frigated, your game is so doomed. Like when is the only time I can think of this as being like useful is like, okay, I captured his city and I might get some damage off on his other units if they're
I
still
actually
adjacent.
remember Purify attacking into someone, to an Oman player with frigates and him running into those harbors. He was attacking in a Siggy or something.
Okay. This is just a oh no, this is a cathedral and a prophet. So this is basically plus for culture, right? St. Peter's Basilica.
Well,
and
it's
a
mostly the profit, right?
Yeah, it's plus for culture plus a profit.
I think it's pretty good.
It's good. Yeah.
I mean, it's a GT on a force piety civ. You have to insta build it.
I mean, as far as I recall playing Vatican, you're dead before you get to build this. So.
Hawks, do you
That's
want
not
to
FDM
talk about
warriors.
it? You mentioned this earlier.
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really actually close to the Mysore Palace in terms of strength. But it's really good. Like, it's a lot of free stuff on a building you're building anyway, because on Vatican you're always just tall piety rushing GT anyway, going Apo, and this is really good for that. So I would give it a 7. I think it's a lot of free
You
stuff.
go Hog, not Apo, right? Nowadays?
That's what I meant. Yeah, Cog. Yeah.
7? Yeah, I was thinking about a 7 as well. I mean, it's like, it's obviously good. It's what you want, but
I'll give it this. It's almost it that wants profits anyway. Yeah, I'll give it a 7, sure.
Put me on a 6. I hate this Civ.
I'll give it a 6. I've never actually played that Civ, but
I played it once and I got horse archered by Pillow.
you deserved it.
All right. It's a zoo, but you get it at Compass, and provides 1 culture, 4 faith, 15 XP to units trained, and is cheaper.
And 2 happiness, right?
Well, it's a zoo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't have any required buildings, right?
No,
Yeah,
no temple
no
required,
temple
and
anymore.
I guess no Coliseum
I'll
probably
give it.
either.
I'll give it a 9. It's actually insane. Like the 15
No
XP is so good. Like in the light game, you can get triple promoted units without autocracy.
And if you happen to play like tradition, honor, or liberty on the coast, and you don't have a religion, well, you just built these. And now you have a religion.
Yeah, and it's culture, and it's so amazing.
Bro, throw back to
That's
when this
building
was
system.
67 hammers. That was balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, that was balanced. Well,
That was for a very short period of time, though, I think.
Yeah.
And then you just marine rush people. This Civ was my baby for the longest time.
Yeah, you were so obsessed with this.
I think this Civ is insane, but this Civ is insane because of workers, and this building is good, but it's not like game breaking or anything. I'm gonna put it on like a 7.
Yeah, I mean, late game combat bonuses really good, but I kind of think Otto's really strong anyway, which makes me think a little bit less of this building. I agree with Kuba. This is a 7. This is insane Civ, great building, but this building's not what makes the Civ.
Yeah, I just don't think this is a Civ that you can play not auto on, which is amazing and makes me want to give it a 9.
Trade Harbor,
Auto it.
15% production towards naval units, and 1 production from all coastal resources. So this is just a seaport.
Yeah, but it's also a harbor.
It's also
so
a
you can
harbor,
build a
yeah,
seaport
yeah, so you can
on
still
top of
build-
it.
yeah.
And this Civ is terrifying on the coast when it gets to build these things because it has so many hammers. But as I say that, I don't think it outfights Oman on the coast, and we all know how good Oman is. So
Mhm. Oh yeah.
I mean, I just have to compare this to like the Coral Port, I think. This is just definitely like the yields are pretty similar to the Coral Port, and it's on a building you're building much later. Uh, the 15% naval unit production is nice, but you're like you don't really build naval units for extended periods of time usually. Like naval wars tend to be quick, like quicker than land wars.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good point.
I don't know. I'm gonna give this building a 5. It's still pretty good, but like I gave a 7 to the Killa building, right? Or an 8. Um, yeah, I think a 5 is still appropriate here.
We all agree this is just better than the next building coming up, which is another harbor.
I don't know
No,
what
no,
that
no,
does.
no, no. That gives 15 XP now too.
Oh, it gives 15 XP. I didn't
What?
Oh, or does it? Wait, does it? It did for some period of time. I think it does.
It does. Wait, no. What?
well, we're talking about this building.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Are you
Okay.
fucking kidding me?
Yes. As I don't think trade harbor production is a lot better yield on coast than like food and random culture and gold or whatever.
I think
so,
yeah. I was gonna say I actually like this better than a Coral Port.
yeah, and I think because of that, also because this is like most of the Civ, I'm just gonna give it like a 6.
I'm gonna agree with Hawks on a 5. Most of the Civ is extra trade rates.
That's
No,
gone now.
no,
so
that's
the Civ
gone.
just doesn't exist.
No, that's gone.
But
Yeah, this Civ's shit
Um,
now, but these used to be really good. This used to be like my favorite Liberty Civ because of this building. Like Coastal Liberty Civ.
I mean, is one hammer better than one culture on the coast?
Yeah.
Like this, most of the yields. I disagree. On the coast, I'd rather have one culture, especially at the time humans comes up. Like I think Coral Port has slightly better yields, and it comes on a building you just build much earlier. So
You're not building it that much earlier though.
yeah, I think you are. Like coast always gives workshops. Like you're building your workshops probably like I guess it depends on whether you go civil, but you're probably building your workshop sometime between turn 60 and 65.
Well, if I'm playing Phoenicia, I'm not building workshops. I'm building these things.
Okay,
Mm.
I
I still
don't-
want
I don't
workshops
agree
for
with
hammer
that.
cargos,
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure if I agree with that, but anyway.
Whatever. Viteria. And this on.
What a
Oh,
bullshit thing! I didn't realize this.
it's also cheaper to construct.
It's
Okay,
cheaper. Provides 1 gold from all coastal resources. Naval units trained gain 15%, and then it's no gold maintenance either. I don't understand why.
So we all agree that this is the weakest part of its civ.
I forgot
I
this
think-
existed. Yeah.
yes, I didn't realize. Okay, this
So-
makes the civ a lot more scary because you can actually get double promotions on your frigate timings.
Oh wait! You can also get triple promotions on your ironclad timings because you build
Yep.
a barrack, you build your Viteria, then you build like 20 nows,
And then yeah.
and then they promote themselves to triple, and then you have triple promoted units.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I don't believe in promotions on frigates, because you really don't want promotions on privateers. Because you want heal promos.
You're so wrong.
It's not.
Yeah.
Like you're getting 30% bonuses, Hawks. Or is it
You're-
25 now?
It's 15 per.
It's 15.
Each
yeah.
one's
That's-
15.
Oh, okay.
And like people sort of want people don't like promotions on early game units anyway. I think it's much more clear that you don't want promotions on privateer.
You're so incredibly wrong.
All right,
People
guys, can
don't
we?
want promotion.
You guys need to shut the fuck up. Okay, can we just rate this stupid building? I don't think the 15 XP is like that important. Like it's because it's only naval units. The nice thing about Philippines is that it's all units. I don't know. I think this is worse than the trade harbor.
I'm gonna put it on a 6.
I'm gonna give
say
it a
that
5.
That's good.
You're gonna give it a 6. Okay.
I'll go
I'm gonna
5.
give it a 5. I think it's a nice building, but like Portugal wants to go autocracy anyway, so even more so than Philippines. So the 15 XP is not as relevant as it is in Philippines, probably.
Is that
It is
true? I
cool.
mean, that lets you skip mill academies.
Wait for your
Actually,
coast
no,
build.
because you still need the planes. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
I mean, well, but on coast, like you're like how or on commerce, how costly is building mill academies anyway? Your cities are often bored.
This building
yeah, that's fair.
has been this next building has been unchanged from the base game. In fact,
Wow, and you
And-
can tell.
yeah, you can tell. It's, I mean, it does something. I'm not gonna give it a 1. I'm gonna
3
give it, like, a
culture.
3.
This is useless, man.
I give 3 culture, so I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay. Okay.
I'll
Fitting.
agree on a 3.
You're gonna give 3. Okay.
5. It's a lot of free yields on a building you're building anyway.
Okay, Hawks. I mean, the problem is, it's like this is like half the civ, right?
Well, I'm not saying it's a strong civ. I'm saying it's like a good unique building.
No, but like I guess I'm rating this in reference to like this civ has nothing, and like the Watt is like the shining light when you get there, and then when you get there, you're just really disappointed. I don't know.
Wait, I just read the next building. When did this get moved to workshop timing?
No, it was a while back.
Yeah, I think it's been there since for a while.
That's crazy. Hot damn.
All right. 1 production to all hill tiles in that city,
That's it's everything that it does, right?
and obviously the normal base hammers. But yeah.
Yeah, get some tourism at flight.
Okay.
Oh boy, why do people do that? Like, why? That's so stupid. It's like, I think it needs a little more. Oh, okay, let's just give it some tourism at flight. Like, what the like Petra. Like, okay.
Tier 5 culture and archaeology.
Yeah. So dumb.
Okay. This
Okay.
is like an 18 hammer building, right?
It's
Yeah.
pretty insane.
Especially on trad, which the civ leans.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, but
you
the
guys
rest
know Danny,
Wants
right?
to be wide, kind of.
This is most of the civ, but
You guys know Danny, right?
This is not most of the civ.
I guess the
Yeah.
20% great people. Yeah, no, this civ is good.
So Danny played this civ all the time, and he was like obsessed with he re-rolled his game all the time on this, and he would try to get like obsidian in his cap, and he would do stone circles and do this, and he had like a 9 hammer obsidian tile or something like that. I think it's really good. I think especially after metal, because you're is the tundra bias actually a thing?
Not
Ye-
much on Lekmod.
Yes, but like map doesn't actually bias tundra very heavily. Like
Okay.
Russia has a tundra bias, and it's mostly just a plains bias.
Yeah. Okay. Because if you're playing this trad, you actually don't have much time after workshops. Typically, right? That's usually when you go Chichen, NC workshop, right into unis most of the time,
I
right?
think you can skip Chichen on this Civ for this building.
Really?
No.
No.
I don't think you're
Civil's
right.
many more free yields than this building is.
Yeah.
Like the civil farms.
This is a good building, but it's all it is really. I think it's like a 5.
I was gonna give it a 3.
I was
It
not gonna give it a high ranking either.
yeah, it doesn't give like if you compare it to everything else like around this era that we've rated so far, it gives less free yields, and it's on a building you don't want to build early. So
I'm gonna give it a 5 because I actually do metal rushes on that Civ because I think it's worth getting up fast.
It's centralized hammers. Like it can hammer you under down later, right? Because it's so many hammers in a single city.
I because it's a national wonder, I rate it a bit lower because it's not in every city.
Rice loafer post.
This is a hard one to rank, I feel like.
The promotion is situationally really, really good. And I mean the free longsword and whatever, like that does kill people, I guess.
Yeah.
So
the free longsword can be very powerful, but it's kind of a gimmick. Like if people are prepared for it, then it doesn't work. But if people don't know exactly what the Civ does and how fast this Civ can spam out a pre-build attack, it can be really good.
So what do
I
you
mean,
give it?
it does make you watch steel when you neighbor Switzerland, like all game.
Yeah, but it's making your neighbors. I don't value making my neighbors paranoid at all because if my neighbors are paranoid, they want to kill me because they're paranoid. So I'd rather
You've
not
played
make
with
my neighbors
Ashwin too
paranoid.
much.
No, seriously, I want to be. I don't want my neighbors to be paranoid. I want them to just think I'm minding my own business. Not. I don't care about syntax my neighbors that much.
Mhm.
Because if I'm syntaxing my neighbors, much more likely that they're going to syntax me.
That's fair. All right, so what do you put it at? This is an interesting one. I think the promo is actually quite relevant, or at least it can be.
The promo is just when you start near a mountain, when you start next to a mountain, it gets +1 movement or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of nice. It has some late game utility. The armory can be really powerful, but this kind of I feel like has the Arabia effect of like people are just scared of the pre-build, so it's gonna work less often. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
Fair enough.
They are scared for a good reason. This
Yeah,
building is terrifying. I'm
they're
gonna give it
scared
an
for a
8.
good reason.
An 8. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it.
Make your case.
I remember the first game Kuba played on the Civ. He attacked me with these things, and they were terrible.
What? No.
What? No, the first game that we all played was Merc bodied
Yeah.
Kuba.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't in that game, but the next game
That
Kuba
was
played the Civ,
so
and the timing
fucking
attacked me as
crazy.
one of my worst piety games, and it was not good. I'm gonna give it a. It's nice for arty stuff. I'll give it a 4.
A 4. Okay. I'm gonna give it a 5. I think it's pretty solid. Voki. Another unit building that is definitionally like a Civ.
I don't think it's insta build. I think it's only kind of insta build.
Okay,
Only
well,
if you have the
we can say
tiles,
it's
right?
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. All right, so what do you give it?
What does it do?
What does it do?
Just never played.
That's a
this
good
Civ.
question. I don't know.
But
Mega,
this is
you
really
like the Civ?
I don't really like this Civ because I never hit a high roll.
Fair enough. Garb's asking if I want a 4v4. No, thank you.
I mean, the classic problem with Vietnam is like having an armory on metal casting is insane for honor. You can get some really scary attacks with that. Um, but the problem is also like the sim bonuses of this building are really anti-synergetic with honor because it um, like it makes you work jungle tiles, not chop jungle. Like it's anti-tempo and it makes you work a lot of food. And honor doesn't need more food; it needs like production and happiness. Um, so this is, I think, pretty powerful, um, but a little overrated. I think I would give it a 6.
Okay. Glossen, give it a 10. Just keep that in mind, Mega.
Oh, I know. Like, if you hit the high roll on this thing, it's quite nice. Like, it's a lot of culture, but
This stuff has a jungle bias, right?
as a merch, is it merch or is it jungle?
That's jungle. Netherlands has wetland.
I'll go 7 just because of it being at metal.
I'm gonna
I
give it a
don't think-
5 because I never hit.
Yeah, I don't think this hits like all that often. I think it's like a 5 or a 4.
I'm just giving it a 7 for Glossen. No other reason. I would give it a 5 if I was actually giving it my own right now.
I'll give it a 4 because I don't think you hit, and if you don't hit, it's just kind of useless.
Okay, Canton Factory.
That's a hell of a building.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think it's like that insane.
It is mostly the effect of like you look at it and you're like, why does it do this?
It's the cost, right?
Yeah, it's
like
the
that's
cost
the
that's the biggest
only
thing.
thing that actually makes this pretty good.
No,
Oh,
it's also a higher roll.
Australia unique buildings in medieval, by the way.
Yeah, it's yeah, we should do that
Fuck.
first. It's machinery.
You guys suck. Okay. Kind of. I'm gonna say kind of for this because I feel like oftentimes by the time you've teched it, you don't have anything to build anyway.
It's not. Yeah, it's not that impactful. At least early on. It's a fun building though.
It doesn't actually do that much. Like it's a half a workshop and like a third of a market.
Hawks hates this building.
Yeah, this is a 2. It's like it doesn't do any. It's barely worth building.
So the funny thing about this building is if you want to play Autocracy in Oxford radio, you can do very fast spy stealing with National Spy Agency.
Okay.
Sure, that is
Mega,
nice. But I
who
feel
the
like that's
fuck
the
is
best
doing
part.
that ever? Are you kidding me? Did you
I did it-
just
I did
say
it.
that?
I
What
did it-
the
I did it.
fuck is wrong with you?
I did it once. It was amazing. I stole the entire top.
This is the stupidest conversation. Okay, knowing that, what do you give it, Mega?
I'll give it a 3.
Okay, cool. Glad we're on the same page. Two.
I think it's like hammers on hammers, and I think it's not that bad. I'm gonna give it a 5.
It's still expensive, and it's not
Yeah.
something you really want to build.
It's a completely useless building otherwise, and it's just like a mini workshop. Okay. 67 Hammer Bank. How are we feeling?
And it's 35%, so 25%, right?
Yeah.
And it has 2 slots? Question
Yeah.
mark.
2
Yeah.
slots.
Yeah, which if you forgot to spawn your merchant for your RD push, now you can work it faster, I guess.
Ah, yes, you're banking into RD push.
Yeah, that's what Miota does every single game on this Civ.
Yeah, I mean it's actually correct on the Civ because banks are good.
I mean, if a building is good enough to make you detour from your RD into banking, I think it's fine to like rate it reasonably. It's nothing game
Um,
breaking. I think it's a 5.
so I mean part of the reason you detour though on is because on this Civ you're not necessarily doing an RD timing. You might do a cav timing instead, and that's part of why like you detour because you don't need RD anyway, and the second scientist is going to light up just fine.
You're just slamming in the cities anyway, because
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's a decent building. I don't feel like it does a whole lot for you, but it's nice. So I'll give it a 3.
A 3.
is this an instant build?
I feel
'Cause
like
it's
it
so cheap.
is.
Yeah, it kind of is
I definitely
Yeah.
think it is.
because you just don't have a lot to build around this time. So it's like something you're always going to queue up.
It's
It's
either
also
that or Zeus.
super cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it just doesn't change your game all that much, in my opinion.
It's so
I don't
much
know. I
gold.
think banks are really good.
Yeah, banks are good buildings.
I'll go 6.
Yeah,
I'll go 5.
I'm thinking around 6 as well. I think I know it's a bank and stuff, but at the end, at the same time, it is still really strong.
The Darvis, Glossen, other building. This is an instant build for sure. At least in
The
actually,
context
yeah,
of
they
the
changed
Civ.
it so it actually gives culture now on the base, and they nerfed the yields or something.
Yes. They just like I'm pretty sure on this if you just go astronomy, well definitely before schools and sometimes before factories, but probably not.
You go with before factories every single time because these things are crazy. At least if you have mountains.
I mean, what is like what are the yields? I don't know what the yields are right now. This has been changed. It's changed somewhat recently, and it's like different in Weeby, so I don't know the current yields.
It has 4 base culture and it has 2 extra culture on mountains.
And then it's 5 science base.
Yeah,
Four.
and it's 4 base science, same as observatory, and 5 science on mountains, same as observatory.
And then 2 culture on
2
mountains
culture on mountains.
with the additional 1 food, 2 hammer, 1 gold.
Yeah, that's Armenia.
Yeah, that's
so.
just basic
Yeah.
Armenia though.
I mean, it gives you like you build an ops anyway on Armenia, and then this gives you an extra 4 base culture plus 2 times number of mountains that you're working. Just a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the entire Civ also. Basically.
I'll give it a 6. It's a lot of culture. It's really nice, but at the same time, going Astro early is really painful because you're losing out on the ability to engineer or hard build wonders, and if you go there late, it just means less.
I think I go there like after factories because I really like Leaning Tower, and I think it's a 7 when I go there after factories.
Sure, but you cost yourself the ability to contest. I guess if you're going factories for Sistine, you're not contesting Sistine anyway. But or like Taj, but you can't contest Taj, Pork. There's a big cost to this. It's nice, but
You
it's a
don't
big
really
opportunity
need
cost.
Sistine as much though when you have this building, right?
Are you like if
Still
Sistine
nice.
is still there, like you just take Sistine, and if you engineer Leaning Tower, why do you care?
The thing is,
Well,
this
Yeah, because you try to hard build wonders like
this
Sistine
tech
Taj.
pays for itself so fast on this Civ.
Yeah, this is actually
No,
Yes.
because it's the same as any other Civ in terms of the tech paying for itself. It's just you get a lot
No,
more
it's
extra
not.
culture.
It's
and
not.
that makes-
It's not because you're actually working all the mountains right away.
Yeah, it's nice for the observatory play to get a lot of extra demos from it. Yeah,
That's
it's
what
really
I'm saying.
nice, for
Like
sure.
you pay off the cost of doing astronomy very quickly.
so Glossen would rate this or rate this building like 11 or something, but
Yeah.
keeping that in mind, I'll just rate it an 8.
I don't know. I think this can be really strong. But again, I never hit, so. here we go.
Oh, this is such a good building.
So this is
Yeah.
one of my favorite civs, and The building is pretty fucking insane.
I mean, this building is most of the Civ, right?
Uh,
Unless you want to cheese with the buying city state stuff.
the Husser. No, I think it is kind of most of the Civ. It's
Yeah,
available at
agree.
printing. 25% GP gen, 5% bonus, and 100 hammers over 167. Definitely an insta build. I'm going to give this like an 8. At the end of the day, it's still a windmill, but it's a windmill you want to build, which is the best kind. And
Okay,
maybe it's a 9, honestly.
it's a 9.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna rate
giving
it a 9.
I think it's a 9. Yeah.
It's like free garden effect, and your earlier cheaper one. Like this is even without the garden effect, this is definitely a building worth building. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
This
And
It's just
like
a
having the
cheaper
free
windmill
garden
in
effect on
general
top
is
of that
worth
is
building.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like windmills. Just you often on like Liberty aren't spawning your scientists fast enough to build them.
Alright. Well, I think my ratings are gonna go down a lot because this is late already in the game. Like Renaissance is,
But we're rating the building. We're not rating.
yeah, but like the impact that this building has on the game is late because you might be dead, you might have been earward at this time, like things might have happened to your game that don't let you get to the building. And I don't know.
Motherfucker, you rated a Mughal fort an 8.
Yes, because a Mughal fort, you're India, so you can war elephant anything that
Okay.
breathes your
Actually,
way.
not anymore. They just got nerfed.
Anyway, I'm gonna give this an 8. Still.
Oh, what
I
the
mean,
fuck? Okay.
for consideration, this is in Filthy Robots tier list, which is for no mod. The Civ is a B tier Civ, and it's all just because of that building, and that's when it was still in economics.
yeah, I was just trying to talk myself into a 7, but I couldn't.
Okay. Stayed.
Definitely better than the Canton Factory. Like 2 extra golds or 3 extra gold because it's 2 maintenance and it gives 1 gold, a culture, an extra happiness on a building that you build a decent amount of the time. This feels like a good building to me. Compared to the like, this definitely feels worse than the Philippines zoo though.
Mhm.
And what did I rate that? Like a 7? I think I would rate this a 6.
What did you rate that?
Yeah, I rated a 7.
Rated a 6. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Hawks. This comes late, and this is not like freaking game winning as Coffee House can be.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 5.
Strats Museum.
Open up Civ time.
Okay. Provides 1 additional culture and an artist specialist slot. 117 hammers versus 134.
I mean, artist
This is
slots are
this is a
nice.
building I didn't know existed before making this, so I guess that's something.
I like artist slots. Artist slots are nice. I'm gonna give it a 3.
It's a bad building on a weak Civ.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 2.
Yeah, artist slot is good, but this late, yeah, 2.
Dance hall. Woo woo.
Oh, we found one that's even worse. What did this do?
1 happy, 4 culture. Same
Oh,
price.
Maybe it was changed.
Same
bit.
price
Yeah,
as a
this was
Strats
changed.
Museum, and 15% production
No.
towards military units when it is filled with a musician great work.
For all the
This
times
was-
you have
this
a
was
musician.
Right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
this
a lot
gave
better.
happiness.
That's a lot better, and it didn't have 4 culture. Or
No,
maybe
it
did.
does. Okay. Well, let me clarify because what you read isn't right. I don't.
I
yeah,
just
I
played
don't
this.
think
Are you
what
sure?
Yeah, I don't think what you read is right because I think the baseline is just a cheaper opera house, and only if the music slot is filled, it gives 1 happiness for culture. And
Oh
2
right, yeah.
Oh
Okay,
my
that's-
god, that is so
Okay.
shit. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Okay, so if it's filled, it gives 1 extra happiness, 2 extra culture, and
4
the fort
culture.
effect.
That's so bad. Oh my god.
Give it a 1.
Yeah, I mean, if it's if musician is lot of easy 1.
It doesn't.
You know,
give
I
you
will
a
say I
boost
played
in
Piety. I played Piety Cuba, and I did buy musician. So I got to use it. All right, the Hansa.
Oh god.
I think this is
Yeah.
going to be very polarizing.
Man, so the Hansa is kind of as good as a coffee house if Embargo CS doesn't pass.
It's much better than a coffee house. It's the best hammer building in the game.
No.
It's the
No,
best
it's
building in
about-
the game if it embargo's not passed.
It's
It's-
just hammers. Like it's a lot of.
You are
hammers.
giving yourself on 4 City Tradition 200 hammers minimum.
It's 30% hammers at industrial timing.
So let's just. So I guess the assumption here is tournament game, right? Like, that's the default assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
But you wouldn't
says-
pick Germany in a tournament game.
Well, yeah, but if we're assuming tournament game, this is terrible because
Yeah.
you embargo CS gets passed, or if it doesn't, you get teamed because you're incredibly scary. I don't know. This is like, I'll give this building. Does it give anything else besides the trader effect?
Not really, I don't think.
No.
I'll give it a 2 because if by some miracle embargo doesn't get passed, then it's amazing. But it's literally a 10 if embargo. It's such an easy 10 if embargo doesn't get passed. But embargo should pretty much always be passed. And yeah.
It's actually
even
like
if-
bizarre. Like, is
Even
everyone's
if Germany
played...
has a bad game. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was
yours
about to
doesn't.
say. It's like if you ever play with the Germany player who's genuinely irrelevant, right? Like they're having a terrible game. It doesn't matter. Like you still have to pass this because they will instantly become the strongest person in the lobby. It's bullshit.
Like this, I would. The only player I would not be propose embargo on is Doe if they're playing Germany.
Yeah, you gotta respect it.
Man, it's hard to rate this.
Can I just do an NA?
No.
I was just gonna give it a 1 because it gets you teamed, right? Like it doesn't actually do anything except for occasionally gets you teamed.
Occasionally it's really high roll, and occasionally you don't get teamed. So if those two things happen, then this is an easy 10.
It either wins the game or it does nothing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a 1. Like, I was just not expecting to get value of this. And you can use it so that you pass embargo on other people because you exist.
but then
But-
is it an instant build? Because
I don't know.
I don't know.
this is such a stupid build.
It really
I mean,
is.
it's a 1. Like, it should get freaking reworked. It's terrible.
No, I think this is a
hate it.
5. Because either they do it or they don't, you know?
I'll go with the 5 as well, just
Okay,
just
cool.
in case you ever get to play with it. It's either a 1 or a 10. So
Yeah. Hawks will always remember the game where Doe voted downvoted embargo city states with me when I was playing Germany.
Yeah, and you're like 4 City Tradition factory already with like 500 hammers.
Turned 95. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. Irish pub. 3 base food, no gold maintenance, 1 production from tea, wine, coffee, tobacco.
it's kind of random.
So random.
Random yields doesn't really do anything. You occasionally build.
I think the
twos.
3 food per city is genuinely kind of relevant.
The 3 food is relevant for sure, but it's like obviously worse than it's worse than a state, right? Because it's the same number of hammers.
Yeah, state is cheap. Well, no, I mean Irish pub doesn't have a discount, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have it. It used to cost more actually.
In state,
I
it
remember
does
that.
have a discount. So I think for that reason, I give it a 5. I think these are pretty equivalent buildings without the hammer cost effect. I mean, I think this is a bit better actually without the hammer cost effect, but this is 30 hammers more expensive. So even though it's a little bit better building, I'll give it a 5.
This makes me want to reconsider my rating on watts. Because the last time a building gave me 3 of a random yield, I give it a 3, and I think I'm gonna give it a 3 again.
Mega? I think this is like a 4.
4.
Yeah. Hacienda.
Oh, this building.
I love
Oh
this
my
building so fucking much.
Hey, why is Irish Bobbin insta build?
Does it require a Coliseum?
I
Because state doesn't require a Coliseum.
think it
I
does.
don't know, but
It
I
doesn't
don't think
mention
that's
it.
all that relevant. What, like,
It's relevant for trad gamers, but Ireland doesn't really want to play trad.
Ireland also built all of their Colosseums because they have the production.
you know what Kuba said about the Watt. I think I need to move the Watt up to a 6. Yeah, I like Kuba's logic. The Watt's just definitely better than this.
Yeah,
Um,
what's probably like a 5 from me too.
Yeah, I need to move that from a 5 to a 6. I rated that wrong.
Okay.
Ryan just ignored my change.
What'd you say?
I wanted it on a 5. The what?
Okay. Hacienda. So I think this is like a 9 for me or something. Maybe an 8.
How much yield is
read,
that?
read out all the yields for
Okay.
this thing.
1 production from luxury resources. 1 gold from bonus resources. So
It's more like 2 gold.
sheep, wheat, stuff like that. 1 food from strategics, and does not require gold maintenance.
But it loses the 30% towards buildings, which nobody
No,
cares.
does it?
Yes.
I don't think it does.
This doesn't say anything about it in the tooltip.
UI's cheater. Cheater mod.
We should clarify it because that is very
Oh,
relevant, actually.
What,
It does give
what are
the
we
10%
clarifying?
towards-
It does give the 10% towards buildings, like a normal
Yeah.
windmill.
Apparently it does, yes.
I think this is an 8. This is definitely a better building than the coffee house, I think, but it comes at a much worse time. And the problem is coming at economics versus printing
Yeah.
is a huge issue. But it's
Yeah.
still a really, really nice building.
It's hard to build because you actually have to build your factories after it, and like you build these over factories, which is saying a lot. Like it's good building.
I don't think this is better than Coffee House. I think GP Gen is so valuable.
Coffee house is a better building than this, but yeah, this is
So what do you put
saying
it?
up. Hawk said 8. I'll go 7.
I never played this Civ. I'm just gonna trust the 7 from Mega, I guess, because I put Coffee House on 8.
Well, I'll copy 7. I think the gold is probably one of the most underrated parts, right?
Yeah, it's 2 gold on every bonus resource, not 1, because bonus resources don't actually provide gold, and you're in the golden age.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole time at that stage.
Yeah. All right. Persia.
Mega, you're a Persia player, right?
Yeah, it's my favorite Civ in free for all. This building is like a nice to have. It's a bunch of extra happiness, and Persia is usually needs the happiness because you've killed someone, either at crossbows or at arty. So you just queue up all these things for instead of zoos.
Mhm.
I would say this is an instant build because you usually
You
have
need
killed
markets
a player.
though.
Yeah, but you usually have killed a player at this point of the game as Persia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in context of the Civ, the happiness is much more important than like happiness on Philippines or happiness on Belgium. So even though it's like in a vacuum definitely a weaker building than those, I do think it's comparable because just the Civ really wants the
Yeah.
happiness
No.
that
No.
this provides.
I agree with I agree with all that.
Like, yeah, it's just you queue up these things instead of zoos, and it's much better than a zoo, obviously. So
Yeah.
for that reason,
Uh,
Nighthawks.
you can go. Sorry, keep trying to talk at the same time.
I'm gonna go 7 on this building.
What do we get?
No, I'll go
give me
6.
I'm gonna go 7 because I gave a state a 6.
Actually, yeah, I'll go 7. I'll stick with my gut.
Would they give a state a 6? I mean, this. Eh. Okay, fine. State. You can be rate equally to satrap scored.
6.
Okay, who wanted to talk about this? This is a mega building, right?
No, I've actually never played this.
Me and Hawk played this in a Weavy very, very recently.
The
It's
Civ got
such a
Liberty
good
Aesthetics
building.
banned. um, or
It's,
well,
it's
it might not have been this that got it banned, but it was a game on the Civ that got it banned.
Yeah, it's such a good build. This is the single most happiness that you can have on a Civ, right? Like,
I think so. Yeah, 3 happiness, and it also has an extra base culture, right? Does it have maintenance as well, or
one less, I think. No, it's the same maintenance.
same maintenance? Okay.
It's 3 happy. That's it. It's a
It's
3
So
happy.
it's 3 happy and an extra culture.
I'm not saying that. Don't. Okay, when I say that's it, I'm not saying like that's all. It's like that's obviously a lot. I'm just the main thing that makes this building is that it's 3 happy, right?
Yeah. That's-
Okay, so what do you put it? I'm with you. I think this building is insane.
I'm inclined to think about this more as a zoo replacement than a opera house replacement, kind of. Right? And in that regard, it is very similar to
I mean, but you
Stad.
still need the tech.
Yeah.
So
It's,
I
of course,
can't you can't make those because zoos are on the main path, and opera houses aren't.
I mean, this changes the main path though for the Civ.
yeah, it does. It does make this awkward. I think just because it has a little more culture than a state, I think I'm gonna rate it the same as the state though, which is a 6. It's a good building.
Yeah, but it also enables building Hermitage. I'm gonna give this an 8.
You really think Scotland is good enough to to give this building an 8?
What did you guys
I mean, it's
rate?
not about how good the Civ is. It's about how good the Civ is versus how good it would be without the building.
What did Glossen rate Hippodrome on Byzantium?
Please tell me if you
Six.
see it. I can't.
Yeah, I see it. 6 on line 26
It's 5655.
or 25.
5655.
I'll give the same rating as Glossen did for the Hippodrome.
I like opera houses. You guys know that, so this is an easy one for me.
It was a 6, not a 5.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Tim Hortons. Does anyone know what this does?
Probably the stock exchange thing.
It is
Yeah,
an instant build for sure.
Yeah,
1
sure.
gold on every river tile and 2 happiness, I think.
Not too
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, it's definitely an instant build, right?
It's still on the stupid deck, right?
It's
Yeah,
unlikely.
it's on banking and Weavy and stock exchange. It's the same as the stock exchange, and
And it's
Pretty
on
cool.
electricity, yeah. Oh
it gives
god.
extra food as well, right, or something.
No, it
No.
doesn't. It's on electricity. Like, how high can I rate something that's on electricity? It's like, this comes after Landship.
It's also cheaper. I mean, it is the craziest gold building in the game.
I mean, this building is absolutely insane, but as Kuba mentioned, the electricity problem is a huge problem.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sure.
But I still think this is like a huge part of this. Like, it's still a huge value. I'll give it a 6 because it's such an insane building. But I have to take into account that this is so late and off the main tech path.
I'll give it a 4 because electricity.
Yeah, I'll give it a. It's an insane building, but I'll give it a 5 because of being out of the way.
Yeah. I'm kind of with Kuba on that one. All right. Cooperative. Definitely an insta build. If there ever was an insta build.
I mean, if you're not building your factories, then something's going wrong.
Yeah.
You just need 1, but it does still require coal.
I mean, like if you buy one, this legitimately is getting your ideology like 5 turns earlier, which is just massive.
Yeah. Or you can frigate one away from someone.
True, yeah.
Dude, when
Who did
fucking
that?
Spencer did that, oh my god, that was peak. That was peak content.
It's also basically a free ideology policy because it's 2 happiness per city. Um, right?
Yeah.
This is. I'll give this an 8.
Yeah,
It's a hell of a
I think an
building.
8's really fair. Super, super good.
Yeah, I've never played it, but it is like everything about it is just crazy. So yeah, I'll agree. 8.
It does give three factory slots as well. Don't think that part is super relevant.
I mean,
It might be a little bit relevant, like if you're trying to push for a second engineer for like Taj or something. It could be nice, but
it's so late. I'm gonna go 7. I like yeah. It's too late.
This building is crazy.
Yeah, this building's really good.
Oh, hey, this also happened in the Weevy recently.
This is one of my favorite buildings in the game.
And I think. Oh no, it doesn't have GP gen in free for all.
Oh, doesn't it? Yeah, that got removed.
It looks like it.
wait, does it? Is it? I have no idea whether it's in the game or not. I've heard different things. I remember a long time ago hearing different things about it, and I forgot the conclusion whether it actually had great person generation or not.
Kuba, pull it
I
up.
think it does.
Give me a sec. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the description, but I think it does.
Alright, let me. Did they? God damn it! Right, we have a university in this city. Okay, it has artist points. What? Yeah,
Yeah, it has 2 artist points, 2 artist slots. I think.
It's ridiculous.
and I think it has GP gen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it has 20% GP gen too.
What the fuck? Okay, so like 9? I don't know.
No, I was gonna give it I was gonna give it like a 5.
What?
It's well because it requires an opera and it is a museum. Like it's
You only
so expensive. It's really
you,
nice to have in Cap because it's like
yeah,
free
you
garden in Cap.
treat it like a national wonder, I think, unless you're
Yeah, I
aesthetics.
agree. I just don't think you can build this in Expanse, which is why I give it a 5. Like the 2 extra artist slots are
I mean,
and
when you're
base artist slots are
playing
really
tourism,
nice.
this is super nice. This is like incredibly
Is
nice.
it like
Yeah,
in tourism you don't have the hammers to be building stuff like this? You want to be building archaeologists. I guess you build some museums.
you end up building all of them.
Okay, maybe. I haven't done that in tourism, but I haven't played a ton of tourism, so
I mean, if the game goes long, this is insane. But like, I've been working with the assumption of my games don't really go long.
I mean, this
I
I
is
think
like a
it's super good.
perma golden age, so
What did they put coffee house at? Oh, an 8. Okay. Gonna go 6 on this one. Like, it's so hard to build it.
Okay, I'll reduce mine to 8, but I don't know.
I'll go 8 as well.
You'll go 8. Oops. All right, Fabrique.
I don't know what this one does.
yeah. What does this even do? It's cheaper. I know that.
And it's a Weevy building. It doesn't require coal.
Yeah, it doesn't require coal.
All right,
So
25
when you're
cheaper.
bad,
Yeah.
when you're bad and you don't have a great person to plant on your coal, then you can still be bad and still build your factories.
I mean, it's just much cheaper.
Yeah, it is so much cheaper. It's 61 hammers off. Like, it's so many hammers. That's
Yeah.
like 2 turns off your factory builds. Like, off all of your factory builds. It's incredible.
Yep. On a civ that wants to go, Kev, IDO Kev. Back Artie. What am I saying?
I'm kind of torn between a 3 and a 4 here. It's like it's a decent amount of free hammers. The coal thing is kind of nice. I'll give it a 3.
This is a lot worse than the cooperative. It's a 4 though. Like it's a factory.
I'll go 4 as well. It's really nice, but it's not that much better than.
Ski resort. Available electricity. Provides 3 happy, 3 culture, 5 tourism, 5 additional tourism, and 2 gold for every mountain within 3 tiles of the city. This bonus will stack 5 times. Half as costly to construct and doesn't require gold maintenance. Doesn't require a zoo.
Put me at 1.
Yeah, I don't know how to rate this one.
I mean, it's electricity.
It was perfect timing too.
Yeah, I'll go like I'll go 2.
A 2.
I
Okay.
mean, what are the yields again? It's half as
ridiculous.
expensive.
It's ridiculous.
It's still really nice.
It's half as cheap. It's at electricity instead of refrigeration.
It's a stadium. Like,
It's 3 culture, 5 tourism, and then 5 additional tourism and 2 additional gold for mountains within 3 tiles of the city. So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
a
the-
lot of base
the gold
tourism
is-
if you're in mountains, a lot of base gold if you're in mountains. It's a lot of happiness, and there's no gold maintenance, which is the main problem with. I mean, there's a lot of problems with stadiums.
I'll give it a 3. This is pretty useful.
I am kind of leaning towards 3. Like I was thinking about 4 originally because I like the amount of yields especially is just kind of ridiculous. Okay, school. I think school.
it's a lot cheaper, right? Like it's
The turkey
It's
one?
actually
Yeah,
crazy.
it's 160 versus 200 and then 3 culture. So there's your watt.
Isn't it for culture?
No,
It's free
it says
culture.
3. Okay, what do you guys say?
I think it's better than a Fabric, so I'll go. What did I rate a Fabric? I'll go 5.
Is this better than the Fabric?
Yeah, because it has culture on it, and it's also cheaper.
I think this is
Yeah, it's
exact
definitely
same as a Fabric in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is definitely better. So I'll give it. I'll give it a.
Actually, I'm gonna give this a 4 because school sucked.
I'm gonna give it a 5. I think.
I'll give it a 4 because, again, like, why do my games go that long? They
Okay,
don't.
dude, you're doing this wrong. Do we even want to look this one up?
No.
I think I'll give it a 4. Actually, it's just so late.
I'll go 1 on this thing, and I don't care what it does.
I don't really care what it does either.
Yeah, 1.
But in case you're curious, 2 gold, 2 culture to great person improvement, so it's disciples, and desert tiles in the city also gain 2 gold, 2 culture. And for some reason, they thought that floodplains having this bonus would also make this too strong, so no floodplains, just normal desert tiles. I don't
I
understand.
know why
Like,
it's that. Why that is? That's because it's just stealing the tag from Petra.
oh,
Petra doesn't
got
work on
it.
flat plates.
Glad that's the best possible fucking reason I could have heard. Oh my god.
Wait, so this is just worse than Petra, right? Like,
I mean, clearly it's worse than Petra because it's a fucking hotel.
All right.
but this-
This one's an interesting one. 20% science in the city, but it costs 230 instead of 200 hammers.
all right.
I
So you guys
think this is like a 1 though.
Yeah, you guys should scroll up to the rating that you gave to Ziggurat.
That's what I was about to mention. Yeah, so I was about to mention.
I don't know that I rated this one because I rated Ziggurat quite highly. There's just wacky things you can do with this. Put me at 2 just so.
I'm feeling
so that I
spicy.
don't give it-
I'm gonna go to 2. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like generous.
I think there are some games where this is really relevant. So, and most of the time it's terrible. So I'll
Wait,
give it a 2.
this thing costs more to construct.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
god, give me a
because-
1.
Because you know,
Yeah, that's it.
would have
But
been way
that's it.
too
Has too much
strong.
stuff going on.
Would have been way too strong.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
give
I
it,
give
Hawks?
A 2. There's sometimes when it's really relevant, and most of the time it's terrible.
When is it ever really relevant though?
Science race games.
Yeah, and you're competing because you're a Yugo. Okay.
You need it to get to your tank timing.
Oh Oh yeah, because you're getting there. Okay. BMPC plant. I think this is one of those changes that I think was really, really good, and I think this is a late game building that actually is very relevant.
For sure.
It provides 3 gold and 5 production base, and you get 2 oil for building it.
Yeah, well, that feels like a Weavy building. I would build this.
I built this
Yeah,
a
you
lot.
build this in all your cities. It's one of the few ones of these that I would actually build in all my cities in every game.
Yeah.
At least as far as industrial ones go, that are not like a core infrastructure building.
Wait, this is
There-
an industrial, right?
Yes. Yes, it is
Bios and
biology.
industrial.
Okay. If you had this many problems with it, why didn't you fucking review the thing?
Man, like this building is insane, but like, I mean, I guess you're playing Coast, so you maybe like actually get there.
All right, I'm gonna use the old classic. Well, if you're in a tournament game and you're running away to the coast, you are definitely building these almost 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, and like if you don't have any oil, then that's not a thing, right? It's like
It's really good for countering people who general into you as well.
yeah, because you don't care.
This is really good scaling. Like it's a lot of demos.
Yeah.
A lot of gold. The oil is obviously huge as well. On a building that you often build in at least a few cities anyway. I'll give it a 5. Really useful late game bonus.
Yeah, I think this is better than Tibbs Horton actually.
I agree.
I'll give it a 6.
I was also thinking 6.
I'll go 6. I mean, it's really strong.
All right. So, dun dun dun. Hawks won. On an average of 5.5, Hawks got 5.48. Wow.
I'm the biggest loser. I blame Glossen.
I think it was definitely Glossen definitely gave these a little too high, but this was fun. I think I'm surprised to see there's so many good buildings this late in the game, honestly.
Yeah, I was expecting these late game buildings to be a lot worse too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expected all of them to be Borges and ski resorts and stuff.
Yeah. But cool. All right. Well, I think that wraps this up.